My hex from the fucking start. Point one, everything we mark. By my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. By my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Checking my MetaMask moving. Look at the hex here, it's mooning. Looking at why they be choosing. Peter is why they be losing. Pro chains out, now get me a check. Heath gas up and got me a mess. Remember the times he died collect. Hex I me eating, I'm dying in the best. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. By my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. By my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Richard Hart. Richard Hart. Richard Hart. Richard Hart.
Biceps in the chat, guys. Biceps in the chat. I want bicep emojis in the chat. Oh, I forgot to turn my lights on, so my guns don't even look good in this lighting. Hold on one sec. Sam, how are you doing?
What is up? Good morning. Good morning. You probably can't hear. You got the music playing in the background. Yes, I'm just jamming here. It's all good. Hope you guys are jamming wherever you're at today, wherever you're at this Friday morning. It's a beautiful morning here. Justin Sprague, how you doing, Justin? Hope you're creating an amazing morning. Chad, what's good?
Guys, we're feeling dopaminergic.
Think of the like button as a flex button. Every time you press the like button, you're basically flexing in the chat here. So continue doing that. Hex and chill. What's up? Bullish. Good morning, JR.
Haven't been to the gym in 4 days, Sam.
You haven't been?
I know Sam's been.
Check this out. I've been every day.
Sam, so let me tell you the itinerary. Can you hear me?
Cool. Yeah, sir.
So there's a push-up challenge we're going to try today. You don't have to try it necessarily. I assume you want to. I'm going to try it definitely. We're going to run through what it is first. We're going to watch the video that shows it, and then we're going to reenact it. Let me say what's up to the chat real quick before we do that, because who likes to neglect the chat? But come on, nobody. Guys, who was in here first? A feud between me and him arised on Twitter, and Jim Rat swiftly became his friend, and now he supports me. Ha ha ha! Just kidding. He's a cool ass dude. Hexander, sup plebs? What up, my guy? What up, World on Win? Is this your first time, World on Win? I appreciate you stopping by. Everyone thinks it was funny when I said dopaminergic, but to me that seemed like another run-of-the-mill sentence. That's because we watch too much biology stuff. Yeah, because I'm always watching O'Connor and like Leo, and they're all
those guys. Like, yeah,
it's like dopaminergic is like saying fuck to them. It's just like this. They say it as much as that. Okay,
what is MOAR?
What is MOAR? Anyone? Yo, let's get this party started. Justin, I wish I knew exactly how to pronounce your last name. This dude's been supporting the crap out of me, dude. He has I think this is the guy with the Instagram. He just has me and Richard Hart, like his bio. This is like,
oh, go.
And I'm like, dude, it could not be that guy, so I might sound like an idiot, but I think I saw that, and I was like, that's the nicest thing ever.
I think it's Sprague.
Scotch on the hex. That's a Scottish lad. He's a Scottish lad. He's up in the Telegram. I mean, in the Twitter Spaces all the time, having a good time. Bullish, my biggest supporter. Bullish. I swear to God, this is a man, the myth, the legend. He's starting to work out. He's been out of the game for a while as far as the workout game. Me and Sam are getting him up to snuff. He's buying dumbbells today.
Oh, nice. I haven't got back into the Telegram yet.
So I told him by 15, 20, and 25 to start because he's a smaller guy. And I said lateral raises, like just some stuff to get his body ready for the final push. Because I like to tell people before they dive head deep into working out to get their body used to it because you will hurt yourself. You literally will.
Yes.
Shell for freedom. I like that name. Does that mean like shell, like bombshell for freedom? That's kind of a cool thing right there. JR.
Thank you.
JR. Everybody
awesome.
follow JR. He's up and coming. He's getting his streaming stuff together. He's a really good friend of mine, a mentor, and he's the man.
Justin.
Bit finesse. Go ahead.
Oh, you'll get done. I'm just
Hexmania into something mania. Al Hex Saunders. Can you please confirm or deny this is your first time entering the chat? I need a confirm or deny that it's your first time entering the chat. Bit finesse. Every single chat stream you go into, everyone's like, Bit finesse is up in here. So I'm going to go like, Bit finesse is up in here. Shit coin fork. Guys, Sequoia. The beautiful Sequoia.
What's up?
Low. Bob. And again, guys, thank you so much. I want to make sure I didn't miss anyone.
Justin, somebody asked what song was that? And then also Justin Sprague says, I just got back into the gym yesterday because of you guys. Awesome for you to take action on getting the shit that you want in life. That's amazing. They on the way, Target same day. Fuck yeah.
Guys, before we get started, I'm going to really dive into this. Like, we're going to do a fucking push-up challenge that's actually hard. So this is going to be interesting.
It's going to be doubly hard for somebody who doesn't ever do push-ups.
No, because you are absolutely freakishly strong. So I think that might weigh out your newbie to push-ups a little bit, and you'll probably be able to do it. I think I'm going to be able to do it, which I'm hoping I do because, oh my God, what if I can't do it at all? That'd be hilarious. But I wouldn't care, guys, just so you know. Like, I would never care if someone said to do a push-up challenge and then I failed it. I'd be like, okay.
I can be the example in this one here. Happy Friday, Hexy B. What's up? Sequoia and Functional Crypto, 25 views at the start. Banging. Yes, yesterday we got up to 62 at a point, so that was fantastic. Appreciate
so 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, that's that really honey hole. That's the honey hole. Right?
Okay.
Right at that point, it's enough people that have known you're online. Plus, it's the time where people are starting to get off lunch or get on lunch or whatever. But I've noticed at that time it goes bonkers. Some people are telling me to go cutthroat and just do 6 p.m. every day.
Could try it.
Because that's the prime time.
Could try it. It's basically like it's like, you know, when the news goes live, it's kind of like that, but it's just way more loose or like ad hoc. We go where we want to go with it.
I almost feel bad though. Like, those are my boys in a way. Like, I don't fucking talk to any of them, but except for a few, because I would hate to be muscling around in that area because they're just, they're gonna.
I don't think it would work that way because that's how they would see it. But in reality, we'd just be bringing more eyeballs, and they're gonna go to wherever the best is. Hey, turn your ring light down just a smidge. Just a smidge, because you're a little bit washed out, and people want to see the definition and those biceps and shoulders when you're flexing. So make sure you just turn it down a smidge so you're not as washed out. Much better. Yes. You guys like that? Much better. Now you get to actually see the peak and the biceps. So wait.
Okay, so I'm going to pull up this challenge. You keep.
Cool. I have some stuff that we're going to talk about a little bit later here. Using hacks to pay off a mortgage. We touched on it, but I actually ran yesterday, but I ran the numbers and put them all into a spreadsheet. So we're going to go take a look at 2 different examples of using a mortgage. And I know Bullish has experience with the mortgage, so it'll be interesting to hear your thoughts and anybody else. But we put together an example where you stake hex for 30 days, and then one where you stake hex for a year to pay off a mortgage. Why are we talking about this? Because this is something that's relevant to me, but also this is how the people like BlackRock go about.
And I have something to add right at the end. Right at the end about a car. I'm going to do that same thing, but I'm going to do it with the car.
Yes. Okay. And you can use this. I can send you this spreadsheet if you find value in it.
Well, no, I already talked to some guys this morning. Like, I've made my plan up. And I want to tell you, my parents are going to be furious, but that's what it's all about, guys.
Yes. Already getting people pushing back. Already get people saying that that's not a good idea. So that probably means you're on the right track. A lot of the times.
Yeah, that's funny, right? That's how that works. So I'm gonna pull up this video, guys. We're gonna be doing the hex challenge. I'm just kind of stalling because I just would like to wait for a couple more people to funnel in here before I show the video, which other people are gonna want to watch. I'll also tag it in. I'll link it below. It's some random popular YouTuber, but like the push-up challenge got a little like the Hexicans started doing it for whatever reason. So we're gonna explore this. I'm going into my DMs right now to find it. I should have taken care of this before, but I had to host the Twitter space because my friend accidentally booted himself, and then I got stuck in there, and then we were all talking about all sorts of stuff.
Bob, a Lee guy, no beef, man. My inner confused boomer was just showing. I'm not sure what's in regards to, but that is hilarious. Thank you for coming in and supporting, Bob. Appreciate the comments and your time being here. Options are good for the community. That's a reference to going at 6 p.m. That's from Bullish. I think the best thing wins in the end, but when you bring more attention to the space in general, everybody wins, right? Because you are going to be doing more marketing than they're going to be doing. So everybody's going to win at that time. I'm a hex in the morning kind of gal. What's up?
Yes, she is. Much love, Swissy. Swissy.
It's a good thing the people around are not around.
I have no idea. Guys. Oh, okay, let me push up this challenge.
So why don't you give some context? Why don't you tell us what the challenge is before the video so we have an idea, and then if anybody wants to do the push-up challenge in the comments, you can let us know. Take a picture, take a video, and tag us on Twitter with it if you're going through and doing that. That will be interesting. Have you seen snowball streaking videos? No, that's interesting. I'm not a big fan of the snow, personally.
Okay, Sam, I have the video. So, guys, basically what...
Yeah, Jim Rat said.
So basically what happened was...
Okay, I gotcha.
Basically what happened was everyone was tagging me on Instagram with these videos, and I was like, what are these videos? And then it was a push-up challenge, and I thought immediately, like, there's no push-up challenge that I can't handle without even thought. And then I thought maybe that's not true because it's probably hard because a big YouTuber did it. So I said, let's do it. And I told everyone I was going to do it. But instead I decided to do it live with Sam because I thought that'd be funnier. And I could clip it out.
He's like, yeah, it's much more entertaining to watch somebody fail at something.
What if I do it with these? Then it's just like I'm the goat.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about myself.
Dude, stop. You're so worried about your performance on this. I'm telling you, you're going to crush it. Guys.
No, it'll be hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Hilarious. I kind of want to fail because that would be.
All right, so are we ready to look at the video, guys? Everyone share. Hey, real quick, before I get all the way into this, which I'm getting right into it, share this out. I have a pinned tweet. Go ahead and share this out. If you want me to put it below, I will. Hold on.
Cheers, anybody who has their morning coffee or morning tea, their Hexen tea. Cheers.
Yeah, today I'm not drinking anything at this moment, but that can change very shortly.
Crypto games, what's good? Let's fucking go. Yes. Okay, you got this video. You want to play the video first so we get an idea what it is, or how do you want to do this?
I'm going to play this video, guys. I'll fast forward it if I see fit.
What's up, guys? My name is Igor Latenko, and welcome to my new push-up challenge that will change your life in 30 days. By now, I think almost all of you guys heard about Bring Sally Up challenge. This is the song with just 2 lines. When she sings Bring Sally Up, you go up, and when she sings Bring Sally Down, you go down, and your goal is to go through the whole song. And I'm also pretty sure that a lot of you even tried it, but the one thing is to try it, and another thing is to complete it. And today, I will show you the blueprint, how to complete Bring Sally Up challenge. Let's try it today. See where you're at, and then follow my Bring Sally Up workout program to fight against it and complete it. And this challenge will
I'm bigger than this guy.
The bigger chest, shoulders, triceps.
I'd take this guy in the cage.
But also, this challenge will build your discipline. This challenge will build your belief in yourself that you can start something and you can complete it. So let's quickly see the rules. Then I will show you the workout program, and then we will go to our first test. today. Let's go. So throughout the whole song, we got 30 push-ups total. She literally sings bring Sally up, bring Sally down 30 times. And as I go through,
So we got the idea, I think, right? We can pull up the
numbers
song.
of push-ups on the screen.
sorry.
And at any time, when you
All right, here we go.
So where we? I'm gonna see if I'm gonna unplug this and see if I can still hear you. Say something, so let's see if I can hear you.
Bring Sally up.
Yes, Siren. What's good? I hope your workouts are coming along.
Are you gonna do it first, Sam, so I can think about it a little and like
I
tell
come
them?
back here. Nobody's gonna be able to see anything.
It's 3 minutes and 7 seconds, Sam.
That's how long the video is.
That's how long the song is. So that's how long you have to go.
Do that right there. It's right there, right there.
Okay, that's amazingly perfect view.
Yeah, got the.
Guys, okay, let's explain what we're doing real quick. Sam is about to actually, his virginity is getting broken into the Hexagon push-up challenge. He's the first one to ever do the live Hexagon push-up challenge. Can he do the push-up challenge? He doesn't know. I don't know. I've never tried it. He's never tried it. I just heard the song for the first time all the way through. Guys, we're not faking it here. We're bodybuilder dudes. We might fail this on our butts, but at the same time,
yeah.
we're fun.
When you go through and do something regularly, you don't realize that the experience has a compounding effect versus like the not doing something at all. Even if you work out, it can still be a challenge for you. So even though I work out, push-ups are not something that I do. So this will be a fun challenge.
It'll be really fun. Now, is it loud and clear when I play the song? Just so we can be clear. Can you hear that? Oh, I stopped sharing. My bad.
Morning. I love all the positivity. GM Lionheart.
Tell me if you can hear this. Can you hear it?
Yes, yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to start this over. Can you hear it loud enough?
Yes.
Are you going to be able to follow along while you're doing push-ups?
I was going to say maybe you should tell me to go up or down. Well,
that's what I was saying.
Right?
So I'm just going to say up, down.
Yeah.
Up. This could be a failure, guys, or it could be the biggest success. Guys, I'm going to take away the chat for a second and focus. Wow. Just know it takes 5 seconds to start, so get down in the position. And 3, 2.
We got this here?
Yep, I'm going to tell you what's up. All right, just listen to me.
How much is left?
240. Wow. 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 Wow, that was incredible. That was so much fun, dude. I was banging I was like, dude,
that was awesome. And now I'm sweating from going to the gym this morning.
How hard was it?
I'm nice and sweaty.
How hard was it?
It's the sitting here that's hard, because you're just sitting in a stretched position, and then you're like, okay, cool, this isn't bad, and then you just keep sitting there on every single rep. But that was
my communication. Decent.
So, are you ready to do this?
Yes.
Yes. Let's get it.
Dude, so this is my suggestion for when you're saying up and down from what I did.
Okay.
Good job, by the way. Right when they say up, you say up right after. Because you couldn't hear the song, right?
I could hear the song.
A little bit? Okay, well, I know the song, so I'll probably be a little bit.
You'll probably be able to get it. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to hear it, but you'll be able to hear it.
I don't think I can hear it, dude, unless you play it.
Oh, what's the name of the song?
Bring Sally Up, challenge with timer. Guys, this is how you bring fun to a community. You don't have to be a freaking doofus. Just do the shit you like. This is what we would have done by ourselves, probably with our girlfriends or whatever.
Yes, let me share the screen with you, and then we will get.
We were up to 40 viewers when you were. It got crazy.
Wow.
It went up like 20, and this usually takes longer.
Oh wow, that's a good idea. We could do these every Friday. We've been with the last Friday we did a different.
We should start picking away at challenges just on the internet.
Yeah, and we did it.
You can put a pull-up bar in that door right there too. I can too, right here.
Oh yeah, pull-up thing, or then we could do a squat thing or lunges. Or
all right, stay right there. I'm gonna move my camera.
Okay, and if you guys are gonna do this challenge, you should film it, put it on Twitter. So cool.
Yeah, and for everyone in the chat, do me a solid, guys. I'm a content creator. You know that. I'm going to clip Sam's out and send it to him. Will you please clip mine out and send it to me? Because, dude, Sam, yours was so funny because I was dancing literally like I was at the club the whole time. I don't know why I was. I just couldn't stop.
Hell yeah. I'm going to do that.
Full screen that, and then you can put it – then I'm going to put it away once it starts going. But just go back to the beginning.
Yep, and we'll be ready to go. Let's get some biceps in the chat here.
Yeah, get biceps in the chat or I'm not doing it.
I do like the Friday fitness shows though. We can do a challenge or other things every Friday. Last Friday we talked about compounds. Today we're doing some push-ups, right? Head into the weekend.
We're just trying to have a good time here. I'm not telling you, we're not here for our egos or anything. This is fun stuff. There's a lot of bad shit going on right now, guys. Seriously.
Siren, can you screen record this? Siren, can you screen record it?
Anyone who's good with tech, can you record this? How's the downlighting?
That is good. And we are full of biceps in the chat. So thank you. And you ready there? GRC, you ready?
Yep. Play it to see if I can hear it first.
Can you hear this?
I can hear it perfect.
Okay, get down and we are going to go. Let's get it. Up. Down. Come on. Up. Down. Up. Down. Let's get some emojis going for GRC. What's up? That was great. That was fantastic. Let's look at the comments. We'll let you recover over there. And then we want to hear your experience in this. Siren, Sam is loving this. Yes, this is awesome. I don't normally do challenges like with other people. I always do them by myself. So this is fantastic. Flexing. Yes, had some nice tricep action there, GRC. Pump it. Triceps beginning to buckle in the descent. Yes, 100%. The triceps are burning. I did arms today too, so my triceps were already burnt. What did you think?
Give me a second.
Can't tell if Sam has rhythm. I don't know. It's rhythm up here, but I don't know if you guys can see the same rhythm that's up here. I wonder if you could do that with crunches. Yes, you definitely could.
Hey, somebody clip that. Wrote GRC got however many seconds. How many seconds did I get?
I think it was like 220-ish, 230.
God, Jesus, Lord, dude.
What did you think?
I haven't been in the fucking push-up position that long in so long.
What do you
I
think?
like 6-minute planks.
Oh wow!
So like, yeah.
But what was dying for you? Was it your stomach?
I bought my pecs.
Pecs, okay.
Straight across because I hold on to my pecs. Some people do both ways. I have small arms, so like holding on to my triceps don't work so good. So I kind of buckle out and just try to hook on my chest. But yeah, it's the last part is this. You can't push up anymore.
Your triceps are just dying. I want to do those crunches.
Hold on 1 sec.
I lasted 45 seconds. Oh, sweet.
Nice
Somebody did it. Bullish did that. That's awesome. I know it's an ambulance. Yes. Get some stupid pumps in your triceps. DR says, how did that hurt? How did you hurt yourself again? Well, it was watching a crypto podcast and I tried to participate. Yes, that's why you have a wrench, human trafficker. Sequoia is clipping too. Thank you, Sequoia. I appreciate that. Yeah, bullish. Push-ups are no joke. 100%. You could just do straight calisthenics. A lot of people.
Yeah, people don't know that too. Let's say that real quick out loud before we forget. Me and Sam could get ripped more than all of you guys if we just did calisthenics too. And I say that not because we're special. It's just a mindset thing. It's like if I were to just say I'm going to do pull-ups, push-ups, dips only, handstand push-ups, stuff like that, I would get so good at those that I'd be popping out 55 like it was nothing. I used to do like 40 handstand push-ups with no jumping, just like. I'm also light as a feather.
Yeah, how much do you weigh?
170 right now. But I'm only 5'8", so it's like
looking good. Yes.
But
so that was a good idea.
Which is the average height in America, by the way, Sam. Wait, Sam's he's the high T Gary V with peak privilege.
What, right?
Okay, guys, how was that?
How
was that? Was that fun? Hey, biceps in the chat if you enjoyed that. You might not have enjoyed it. Please. I just want my breath. Dude, it's going to be so much fun to talk about crypto after we did a little something.
Oh, that's a good idea. And next Friday, maybe before that, but definitely we'll do something else again. Next Friday, fitness related. So if you like the fitness related stuff, stay tuned because we'll have something else for next week. Hexkin Papa was good. Bullish fitness, crypto class. I think this is the first time I'm seeing you in here. So awesome. Crypto Gains Club and Par. Thank you. That is fantastic. Oh yeah,
God damn.
That's a good idea, dude. He texted me last night. He's like, "Hey, you want to do a push-up challenge?" I was like, "Sure, I guess." Yeah, never done that before.
Like, yeah, that's our like daily before the stream. We say like 2 words to each other and like pray. We're like, hopefully we don't look stupid. I'm gonna pull up the Hex USD real quick.
Perfect. And then
because guys, let's get serious. Why is GRC here? I'm here to change the world. I'm here to help change the world. I want to help change the world because I can and because no one will pay me to. I will scream these words over the rooftop because a big problem in this industry is once people get paid, like Sam, once another man is giving another man money, who controls who?
Yes.
And that's
100%.
the problem with shills, guys. Who controls who? They're not necessarily bad people, but it's just a who controls who kind of situation. You know what I mean?
Now they're just sitting over here sweating.
Yeah. Let's pull up the Hex USD, guys. So we had a big pump, right? It was a parabolic, nice, beautiful pump. Sam, so what crypto does, and you know this probably, but let me say it again. Crypto, so what do people look at right here? What do they want? When they see this pump going up, what do they want? They want to find the last resistance point, right, Sam? So look, the last major resistance point that was above this stuff was when, Sam? Hold on.
Was it 6 months ago?
It was roughly here. We're going to be getting, nope. Fuck, dude, I hate this chart. Why is it? How do you cut this other piece off? Anyway, Sam, resistance here. We're going. What's the next resistance? Up here, Sam. Right here, baby. If we can hold this area right here and it sticks, dude, I would be so bullish. It would be disgusting. This still could be a fake out totally. I don't know anything about short-term TA, but I know that if it comes up here and sticks, which means that kind of where the price floor stays, Sam, like people decide in their head, like, okay, this is a good place to buy still. That's what happens in the bear market is people are very sensitive about the price action. You know what I mean, Sam?
Yeah. Well, so when is the best time to buy? Well, right now, but other than that, like
in general, macro or micro?
Well, in general, like to take action today, in my opinion, is always better than taking action in the future. But
Sam, that's a humongous question. So let's talk it through. Let's do it for your situation if you don't mind. Don't say any numbers though.
So, okay, perfect. So I'm going to pull up the spreadsheet. I'll share that, and we'll go through the example, and then we'll hear about.
This is what a good buy looks like, Sam.
Prices.
Like if you're going to look at are you looking at this screen still?
Yes.
So this is volatile, heat drawn. Nobody knows how it's all going to work out. Been beautiful so far. Free money for Jim Rat. Free money for Jim Rat. That's all I know, and I love that free money. So Sam, this is the start of this about a month ago, right? Mm-hmm. What happens right away? I remember right here something happened. There was some news. Anyway, it was going bullish. Everyone was freaking out, right? And then what does everyone do? Go long. They go long, right?
Well, that was almost when it broke into the wider stream Hex community, like right when that was happening.
Well, I know, but like this is when the smart people say, everyone take a breather. Everyone take a breather. And then all the noobs sell again. And then all the smart people buy again. That's how speculative assets work. It's just like, it's just that cat and mouse back and forth, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like smarter people with more capital versus dumber people with less capital.
Yes. I had this conversation this morning or yesterday night about that.
It's so true.
Okay, so hypothetically, right? I'm going through a refinancing, and in this example, I put together, I'll get $100,000 of refinance money, right? Because the property is going up in value because it's Florida and it's run by somebody who has some type of intelligence versus like somebody like New York or California. And so when you have that happening, asset prices increase drastically. So I can pull out, say, $100,000. Now, what if, I'm going to lay this out and then we'll run through the numbers. What if you took the cash in that world and you put it into crypto world because you have a fixed debt on this side and you put it into something that is variable and gives you a return? So that is what we ran the numbers on. Here, we have 100,000, 5% interest over 30 years. So basically, that's just a mortgage payment. We're only using P&I, which is principal and interest. We're not including taxes and insurance because I'm already paying that and I'll continue to pay that. I'm just accessing that equity, that capital. Now, this morning when I ran these numbers, Hex was about 14.5 cents, 14.6 roughly. We'll get into the break even and this right here. Now, if I were to take that $100,000 and convert it to Hex at the rate that was this morning, I would have 684,000 Hex. Hey, GRC, are you following? What question?
No, I would like you to start. I was just looking at the chat and fucking around while I was catching my breath. Just start from I know what you're doing, but just start from the top if you don't mind.
Yes. Okay. So $100,000 of equity in my house that I have access to. So I'll go to the bank, be like, hey, bank, will you give me money in fiat so I can take that and put it into crypto? And they're like, yeah, sure. That's exactly what we'll do. They will give me $100,000 cash in my checking account that then I can take that cash and put it into crypto. So now you could use that doing LP, right? Liquidity providing, or you could use it in staking. But what about with HEX specifically? So I ran two scenarios here, a 30-day stake and a 1-year stake. We're going through and looking at the 30-day stake here. The payment on this is $537. So GOC, what questions do you have about this so far? Are you following along? Is everybody in the comments following along?
Let me just say what I think. You got $100,000. You're talking about using that entire chunk for a 30-day stake.
Correct.
Okay. So that amount of money equals $537 at the end of the month if the price stays stagnant.
This is before that. This is the payment. This is what I need to pay the bank in 30 days.
Oh, okay, cool. So I see we're just moving to that.
So now converting to HEX, if we convert it to HEX, we get a little under 700K of HEX. At the end of a 30-day stake, we have almost 6,000 more HEX. Converted to USD at current prices, it's $859. Transaction fees to do this, because I didn't factor that in, right? So we figure transactions are probably 10 to 20 bucks. So just to be conservative, I put down 50 bucks here. That means in a 30-day period, there's a profit of $272. So you're like, okay, well, there's risk to this, and that is what if I take, because I'll be in ETH for just a couple minutes, right? Like I'll transfer.
But it doesn't matter. There's ETH fees.
No, correct, but that's what this 50 bucks is.
Yeah, but that's not even fair.
Why?
That's too low.
Okay, so what's the appropriate? What do you feel is the appropriate number?
You're saying you're going to swap $100,000 for HEX?
Correct.
It's going to be like 300.
It is going to be 300. I thought it was
roughly. I mean, if you find the best time and do it at the most nuked way, but like if you just do a classic swap on Uniswap versus a match a limit order, that changes everything.
Okay. So this is perfect. This is great. This is great. This is information that I didn't have, right? So in the 30-day scenario, and
there's an unstake fee that's ridiculous.
So at the end of a stake, if it's already expiring, there's another.
Yes,
fee.
There's a fee. That's why you got to understand these big.
Perfect. This is great. This is
yes,
fantastic.
but listen, it's not necessarily proportional to the size, but I think it might be a little bit more proportional to the length. But yes, you have a fucking big fat fee waiting for you at the end of that too.
So even though your stake is expiring, there's still another fee.
Well, it doesn't expire. You end stake. So there's a day that it's over and you press end stake. So you have to
No. Not the end stake. You do a 30-day stake. What happens at the end of 30 days?
You press end stake.
Even though your stake is done.
End stake is just a button that means the stake's done. It's a confirmation that you're there.
Okay. And this is not
if you're not there, that shit's going down the toilet, by the way.
Correct. After a certain period of time.
Yes, but we can get into that later. But yes, in general, like if you just forget, it's gone.
Okay, so
this is why everyone always gives you that little bit of a cold shoulder when you start talking about some of this stuff, because it's like if you really get into it, you're getting like fucked from centralized exchanges, is what we hate.
So let me understand the fee portion of this, because then I'll just update this, right?
Yes, sir.
So you take 100,000, you put it to Coinbase, right? You're going to have a little fee there, right? And then to go from there to a wallet, there's going to be another fee, correct?
Yes.
And then to go from the wallet to HEX, there's going to be another fee.
Yes.
Right? Those fees are all going to be relatively small in terms of 10 to 20 bucks because they're going to be ETH fees, correct?
No, ETH fees are ridiculous, dude. You haven't seen ETH fees before, I guess, because the last 3 weeks.
Well, so when I transfer money, it's been like around 10 bucks.
So yes, you're right, but you're talking about $100,000.
But is the ETH fee? I thought the ETH fee was based.
You're right, though. I think the end stake fee is correlated directly with duration. Guys, I have to ask a few questions to the chat so I can think straight.
Yes, please.
Please tell me a few things, chat. When you stake, however large your bag is, does that change the fee? I need to know that. I know that I kind of know that, but I can't remember directly which one is which. Like, because I know the end stake fee, depending on how long your stake is, because it uses more energy. So let's say I go 5,555 days, it's minting every day, right? That's more energy. You're going to have a bigger end stake fee. I'm assuming. When I say energy, I just mean like overall energy. Like bag size does not change the fee.
Okay, that's what I thought. Bag size doesn't change the fee.
What do you guys think about if he was to put a number on this spreadsheet for the Coinbase to Hex? I mean, Coinbase to MetaMask to Hex to stake amount of fee for $100,000. What do you guys think from Coinbase to MetaMask, swap to Hex, however function you think fit, and we can talk about that too. And then, so give me a little estimate, guys, in the chat, a little price gap, and while we're gabbing about it.
Okay, because yes, we want to hear that, because if this is $300, then this scenario doesn't make sense to make $22. Like, what's the point of that? There's way too, it doesn't make any sense. The price of Hex could come down, it doesn't make sense. But when you look at the year, then it would make sense, even if the fee is substantially higher. So we have the same scenario here, right? Same exact Hex price, 100,000, 5%, 30-year term. The payment on that is $540, $537. But now in this scenario, we're going to stake our Hex for 1 year. So we're going to take 100,000, we're going to stake it for 1 year. But what do we do between T0 and T12, right? We still have to make 12 months of payments. So let's take that out of the 100,000. So if you take 537 times 12, that's 6,500 bucks. So now the delta, 100,000 minus the reserve. The reserve is a separate checking account, automatic payment. So every month the mortgage is just getting paid from this, right? So we're only going to be able to use 93,000 to convert into Hex. So in this example, right, we got to change the fee number, right? We got to change the fee number.
PBM says 300 seems fair, and we're talking end stake fees. So duration 1 month.
Can somebody talk about what is an end stake fee?
End stake fee is when your stake is up, Sam. If it was 1 week, on day 7, I have to go onto my computer and press a red button. It says end stake.
Isn't that just going to be another transaction?
It mints all that Hex.
So isn't that going to be another mainnet, like Ethereum mainnet fee of like $10 to $20?
Yes, it's an Ethereum fee, but for some reason, because of the way the staking protocol works, you just get wrecked on it. But there's some sort of like, it takes a lot of energy. Guys, I know that's true because Richard says it all the time. He always says that's why this is why they're doing Pulse Chain, dude. Literally the things that you're dicing around your head right now, Richard is literally like, this cannot be fixed in this system. So do you understand where I'm coming at with that? Like this is fucked. Like,
so
dude,
let's say this is
$1,500. I spent $1,500 on fees once to get money around.
Here we go, Ninja. Because this is going to impact what you were going to talk about with the car money type stuff, I'm assuming.
So you are right though, Sam. 30-day stake only goes for a 30-day calculation. So usually these people that are bitching about end stakes have these long drawn out stakes. So maybe because I have no experience with short stakes, I don't understand the fee structure. So that's a great point.
Okay, so for anybody in the comments, is a 30-day Hex stake, right? We go from fiat to Coinbase, from Coinbase to wallet, from wallet to DEX to convert to Hex, and then to end stake. So what do we have? We have Coinbase, wallet, DEX, and then staking, right? So there's four steps in that process. Each one of those is going to be $20, right? An Ethereum fee, from my understanding. Is that incorrect of those things? Because I want to know that. And then what is there's another one, right? This is going to be the end. At the end of that, you're saying, and I'm not aware of this. So at the end of that, you have another Ethereum fee, which is $20. So if what I'm thinking about is accurate, that's a $100 total in the first example, the first scenario of 30 days. Right? Coinbase.
So Sam, we're going to have to do this for other coins, because you're just going to be like, if this, not saying guys, he's not necessarily doing this. This is all thought experiment, by the way, too. He's not getting a loan for this, that, and the other, whether he is or whether he's not. We're just fucking thinking here. He would just go with the best plan in his opinion anyway.
And so another thing that we didn't add to this, what if I factored in, what's it called into this? Hedron. So, because I'm not even factoring this in, but if you have 100,000, that's equivalent to 20 T shares, right? Then you're going to get free Hedron.
Yeah, but that's a shit amount, to be honest. Like that's a shit amount. Like
20 T. I don't know how many.
Oh, 100 grand. 100 grand. I kept thinking 100,000 Hex. We're talking about 100 grand. Yeah, that might be a good amount. We can see right now. I'll look it up.
Well, let's run through this real quick. Okay.
All right, got there.
So the same example here, 100,000. We're going to set a reserve of $6,500. So that means we're not going to pay that payment. The debt is going to pay the payment itself. We're going to take the difference of 6,500 minus 100,000, which is 93,500. Right now, we're going to convert that to hex, 640,000. After a 1 year stake, we have an additional 84,000 hex. In USD terms, that's 12,000 and change. $500 in fees. Let me know in the comments if 500 is accurate. Like
I think they said more like 300.
Okay, so let's do 400 just to be super conservative, right?
Okay.
Another $100. That means in 1 year you made $12,000 profit from other people's money.
Yeah, for sure. But find a guy who can put 100,000. Yeah, no, like that's it. Like you're right. But with volatility exists and emotion exists.
Perfect. Okay, so look at this. So let's go back to the beginning example. In this example, right, with the 30 days, the price has to come down an additional 40%, 36%. So it has to go from 14 cents right now, 14.5%, 14.5 cents down to around 9 cents in order for this to just be at a break-even point. Meaning,
dude, but you could just do this with USD and just get USD and make it would be so cleaner and less.
Tell me, what do you mean with USD?
You could. There's USDT pools that you earn USDT, which is just the peg for the dollar. Meaning basically you just stake your shit and get 8% or 10% for the year, and you just get dollars out, and there's no fucking gas fees.
Oh, okay.
That's why Jay always says that. Jay's always saying it's so you're doing a lot to get 10%. Like that, you're basically, let's say you're getting 10% profit after all that, which you're probably getting like 15, and then cutting off of whatever else, the fees and everything. Let's say about.
Well, remember, none of this is my money, so it's basically other people's money that I'm using to make money for myself.
Yeah, but there's risk associated with it.
And the risk, and correct me if there's any other risks that I'm not considering. The risk is that the price comes down.
The risk is that this world goes to fucking zero, dude. Like, I would say more like you'd be worried because like people would start not caring about this shit and like start protecting their food. Like there's a lot of scenarios where life doesn't look like this in 20 years. There's a lot of scenarios where we're not alive. And we had something crazy goes on and people come to I ain't going to say none of that on fucking Nazi tube, but you know what I mean? Like, guys, there's and I don't know much about politics, so all you conspiracy theorists probably say this isn't true, but this is what I think, I guess. All I heard is that they're dropping bombs on other countries like they don't give a fuck anymore. Like, that's a big deal. Markets can be affected by that. One wrong person dies, it's all over the news, and things change like that. Elon Musk says one word, and all your silly little plans, and you'll feel like a fucking asshole. You'll feel like a fucking asshole because you'll be like, this is the most socially manipulated market in history, and I just bet my whole house on it. Correct. So, and you understand this. He understands this guy. Yep. It's like, it's not like he's not like, oh man, he's literally just like working through different equations because this is how he does. This is how he figures his shit out. But yeah, so in the general, what I tell people is just like, when it comes to hex is not made for income like that. It's meant, and it can be if you're a fucking whale, but you're not. Like, you're just not. Like, it's even if you have 100 grand, you're not even close.
Correct.
So it's like, if you stake 33 grand of that for 2 years and use the other, you could yield it with ADA. You could just go to ADA or USDT. Then you're making passive income and you're getting all the benefits of hex.
Bullish mentioned something here too, which I like this too. I just didn't run the numbers for this one. Bullish says, one idea would be to cash out 100K, set a reserve to 3 to 5 years. And there's a decent chance, in my personal opinion, that we're going to, in some time frame between today, 0, and 36 months to 60 months, we're going to have a bullish period at some point between now and then.
Dude, and I'm going to tell you the alpha, a lot of these smart guys think it's now. And I've been saying the different thing, like as my public sentiment, because of the way the chart looks and the way that I interpret the world. But I'll tell you, smarter guys than me think that we have another run left on this cycle. Way smarter guys than me. And they're talking about Bitcoin. They're talking about the whole market. They're talking about finance. They're talking about crude oil. You know what I mean? Because that's really what you look at. Yeah, hex might move independently 100% or here or there, but like if crude oil is going down and Bitcoin's going down and everything's going down, like it's not everything's going down. Especially risky speculative investments.
So in the example you were talking about, because that was the kind of how I was thinking about it yesterday. And I was like, oh, let me run the numbers for hacks to see what that would be like. And I'll put it forth here. And I made a little video about it so that I can get people's feedback, because then they'll be like, oh no, the fees are way off, right? Like that's new information, right? So by putting that idea out there, that people are like, hey, actually you missed this portion of it or this thing here. And then you get to test that live. You had mentioned USDT or UST.
Any USD, any kind of dollar coin.
And staking those. Is that what you're talking about? Staking.
One-sided, single-sided staking pools like we talked.
Gotcha.
So there's just independent single-sided staking pools. There's degens all over the internet that do it constantly. It works, but guess what? Those projects go to zero. Long term, Sam, not short term. There's a lot of these projects that I could invest in, and I'm sure I would make a little money. But in 2 years, I'm going to say, man, I wish I was a billionaire like all my fucking friends.
Instead of sitting it there.
Instead of fucking playing around with crypto, dude, play around with fiat. Play around with fucking businesses like that are really, really low overhead. Like, play around with that stuff to make money, consultation, stuff like that. Just dump your money into crypto. You have one fucking goal. That's me. I'm talking to me. I have one fucking goal. Put fiat dollars into Coinbase and send them to my separate wallets. That is my goal right now. I mean, yes, I took a roundabout way of getting there, but this is the only way I could do it while I was still learning.
Because mine is like I want to create an income stream so that I create a geographically free way of doing things that I enjoy doing.
Yes, yeah, you are a
so
guys. I'm going to start inviting people, lowest viewers of all time, because Jim Rat doesn't know what he's talking about, but that's okay. We're learning. So I'm going to invite someone on. Give me one sec. Orca, if you want to come on.
Okay, so you would want to talk about your car.
So guys, I'm getting a check for my car. I have a feeling the company is really bucking me on it. But if I don't get a check and they send me that car back, I'm selling it or not taking it or doing something or suing them, because that thing got floored by an F-150 in my driveway. I'm not driving it again. Sorry, that dude's gonna pay for it. I don't care. I'm not driving that thing. What if it fucking breaks in the middle of and then I'm like, what the fuck? This dude leveled my car. The tire and the frame was completely ripped off. Anyway, so I'm going to be getting roughly 19 to 21 grand for it, I think. The used car market's crazy right now. And I might, hold your ears, any people that know me, I might go without a car for a little while. And I don't give a fuck. I have a gym here. I have a house. I have refuge here.
So what is your thought process on that? So you go without a car, you got to get groceries every once in a while, or you just?
I have a grocery. I live in the city.
So you can ride
as far as normal things, yes. Well, I have a bike. I have a bike, and the store's right down the street. Literally, like I can just jog there. It would take me 2 seconds.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
There's restaurants all around. If I want to grab a beer with a friend, I could just literally grab a beer with a friend right up the street. And I'm not saying I'm not going to get a car, but I'm going to find a car that's worth it, what I just wanted to drive back and forth. That's my lot right now. That's what I want. I do not want a fucking Tesla right now. That's just me.
Correct.
I'm a young man who has a lot to do. No time for fancy stuff. If I'm going to be the best at whatever I'm doing, I don't have time for fancy stuff right now because I haven't earned it.
What about the gym?
I have a gym here. I have everything I need.
At the house or
I have a garage I have a setup, I have a bench setup, I have a pull-ups, I have dumbbells, I have
So some thoughts on that. So if you did decide to go that route, right, you just have to recognize
there's a YMCA right across the street.
Which way you could walk to?
Yes.
Okay. So if you did decide to do your garage, you also save that gym fee as well, so that
$150.
$150 from 800 to now 650. Right? 800 to 650 because you're getting rid of that. You don't have
calling them right after.
I don't care. You don't have any gas you don't have any gas costs, so that goes down to zero. Unless you're paying for an Uber like once or twice a month, depending on if you're doing shit like that, right? Depending on what it is you're doing. But also you were paying $300 or $200 for insurance every month, right? So there's
$350.
So you have $150 for your whatever that cost, the gym, and $350 for your insurance. So there is $500 right there. So your 800 goes down to $300. That's the minimum amount you need is $300.
And I almost feel like I'm living off nothing now. Like my bank account numbers are not moving.
Correct.
for months on end, other than my mortgage. Like, it's really fucking crazy to see how much I was wasting.
And
Dude, I was wasting so much, like 33 to 50 grand a year minimum, just because I was working so hard and I felt like I deserved it because I was literally working so hard. And I was just like eating, doing, when you're working like that with your body, you just feel like you should chill. And like a lot of the ways to chill is like to drink beer and eat some good food. And like that's not, it's the worst thing to do.
Yeah. And a lot of people are in that boat, dude. And once you quit, you probably created a lot more mental clarity for yourself, I would bet. Because now you get to see some of these things that you didn't see before. Because imagine if you had put $3,000 a month towards tax, say, for example, right?
And it's not, I would have felt ego bruised about this back in the day. I don't even feel it. It feels like nothing. Because I will look anyone in the face and just say, you will lose this battle. Not as a fight, not a physical fight. But I will say I'm giving up everything. Have you ever heard of sacrifice? There's a lot of religious texts that say stuff like sacrifice. You want to know why? Because it's real. If I want to be better than everyone in the chat, I have to do something they do not do. And I'm not talking about this chat. I'm talking about the chat of life. Like, everyone. What are they not doing? Going to the gym every day, making sure they're checking all their calories, making sure they're checking their micronutrients, starting businesses, starting LLCs. That's what people aren't doing. So a lot of the smarter guys figure that stuff out. A lot of my family members have figured that out. Not one of my family members works for anyone. As far as my immediate, none of them.
Yeah. I think you told me they just own their own businesses.
Every single one of them individual business. My dad taught me that it wasn't not good to be. Well, he taught me that it wasn't enjoyable. Like, he didn't say it was bad, but he was like, the way he made his job at wherever he used to work, he says like it was bad, like just slave. Not slave labor, but just like mindless.
Yes. My dad's never had a job since like I was born. He's always done his own thing too. And it's interesting because then you get that influence, we get that influence, but then there's other people who, where their parents worked a W-2 job and they see running your own business as a risky endeavor. But in reality, like, to me, having a job is risky just because it's not aligned with my goals and what I want to achieve and the things I want to do in life.
Just checked a 14-month stake for end stake is about $200 to unstake. So that's a 14-monther.
Okay. Hemp packs. Where do you check that? I was using a website.
What was he checking again? Oh, so he's just looking at his staking ladder in particular, but there is probably a website. Guys, can you throw the website below where you can calculate? It's called like, it's just something calculator. But
okay, sure. I've got one here. It's called hexcalc.net. That's what I was using. Or that a good source of, doesn't show you, it shows you the number of T-shares and stuff like that as well, I think.
Have you ever heard of the Wagon DAO?
No. What do you think about an electric scooter?
I wouldn't need one.
No?
It's too close. Everything's too close.
Cool. Dope.
Literally too close. Like it's like literally under a 3-minute walk.
Oh, okay, dope. I've thought about literally because like everything I need is super close. Like the gym is a mile away. The store is a mile away. There's a park with the stuff across the street. Like everything I need is.
I'm so happy we're recording this and we can remember this.
Right, because you're gonna look back in 2 or 3 years and you're like, "Holy God, remember when
you were doing it right, kid? You were trying your best." You know what I mean? Like, this is a time of my life. It's very empowering too. It's like I am trying my hardest. I don't know if there's a time in my life where I can truly say, other than bodybuilding, that I was trying my hardest. And Sam knows that I've always struggled with that whole, other than like the stuff I'm obsessed with online. But then the stuff that you're obsessed with online comes your job. That's it, guys. Yeah. Whatever you're obsessed with online, you're going to just do for work eventually, unless you just are hating your life. So Sam, I'm going to step away for a second and grab my tea. We walked through that. In my opinion, that's a horrible idea. A horrible.
Why? Explain that thought process.
Because, Sam, the opportunity cost is going to bite you in the ass one day. You're going to be like, oh, that fucking hex, I was going in and out and in and out and in and out. And it could have the whole entire time been sitting there with 40% APY, and you could have just held it for 700 days.
So it's using other people's money, and you could just hold it for 700 days. Like, you could do exactly what you just said.
But the fees are negligible at 30. It's too much. It doesn't make sense.
Well, no, but literally what you just said, I could take the exact same example and just put it for 730 days, which is 2 years.
Yes, no, you're exactly right. 100%. If you do it for 2 years, you did the right thing.
But that's all it is. Like, I just ran 2 scenarios, but you can do the exact same thing at a 2-year mark using other people's money, and you're setting aside.
And he's teaching you how to look up spreadsheets. Like when he's doing that for me, I just learning how to do like the way he kind of sets his shit up because I want to know how he learns like that. You know what I mean? Guys, do me a favor real quick. I am very, very energetic right now. I don't know why. I'm gonna take a sip of caffeine. I'm uncaffeinated this morning. I really want you to share this out, guys. I'm gonna have a nice, good 45-minute conversation with Sam. Really talk about some stuff, get into it. Where am I at? I got a lot going on right now, and I'm willing to get deep right now because I'm feeling good.
Yes, Bullish says Sam knows his risk profile. Bullish is like, if you have a family or kids, like, and I'm not saying you should do any of the things that I talk about in these videos, or that it's a good idea for you or anybody else. But you literally, like what Bullish just mentioned, you have to understand yourself,
Exactly.
100%. And Bullish, what GRC just mentioned is what you had said earlier in a comment. You could just set a reserve for 2 years. You set a reserve for 2 years, so you put $12,000, $13,000 aside from the free money from the loan. That means it's just automatically. You don't even have to think about it. It's automatically getting paid, and 2 years later, you have just literally spent what is that? $88,000, $87,000 to buy hacks and stake hacks for 2 years. Right? Because that's what you were just talking about. And then in 2 years, you just put in nearly $90,000.
But to me, 2 years is too short. Like, I don't do that personally. I keep some liquid and just send it long shot because really all your others is a waste of time to me for what I have, I guess. But Sam's way more analytical and trustworthy than me as far as his detail orientation. Not saying I won't be there one day, but that's just not me right now. Like, I know that I'll have cracks in that armor, right? And you know that you can pretty much count on yourself to be like right on top of that because I've never cared. I've literally never once cared until this last 4 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Never have I, Sam. That's what I'm saying with like this whole grocery list. This is brand new territory to me. Like, I have never budgeted a thing in my entire life for 1 second. I've mentioned it, but I never actually got around to doing it. I was spending sometimes $500 a week, easy, on just nothingness. Not just bills, literally on like between food, weed, drinking. I wasn't even doing it a lot.
So do you say you're gonna make tea? We should talk about that because there's a lot of people that are watching or that are gonna watch who have the same problem where literally just shaving a little bit of getting a little bit of a haircut provides tremendous value from the freedom standpoint that you're going through, and you're like, you thought you needed to make X to live a happy, successful life how you want and achieve what you want in life, but in reality, that's because your spending was out of control. But now you have that spending in a way that is reasonable and still allows you to live what you want to do.
Look what someone made me.
That is dope.
It has the Shield Master's necklace on. You see it?
Oh yeah,
it's pretty cool, right? So my buddy has this thing now where he can just get selfies from people, and it just does that. It just fucking animates the whole thing perfectly, beautifully. He just sent that to his machine or his program. He's the Shield Master's CEO and founder.
Oh, then that's the guy who created that GIF thing.
And he's just learning about online art, and I just want to give him his space, but I want him over here.
Bullish just mentioned it's based on the price. So I actually have an example. In that example,
I'll be right back. Go ahead. I'm gonna give you the screen.
Okay. In that example, what I did with the 1 year, and you won't be able to see this, but I have this up on my side. So it's 14 cents right now. We've been in a bear market for 6 to 7.
I can pull it up if you want to jump in.
Okay, here, I'll share it. Hold on a second. Real quick, let me share the screen with you. And boom, I just shared it. Can you pull my head to the side? There you go, perfect. Fantastic, thank you, sir. So what Bullish was just mentioning, right? 2 years, 5 years, 7 years, and 10 years, or some arbitrary numbers that make somebody feel comfortable, right? So in that example that Bullish is mentioning, what if the price of hex in 2 years from today, and you would just run these numbers. So this number right here would be times 2, right? So you'd have $13,000 saved. You'd have $87,000 you'd put into a hex. Test sake, you buy 600,000 hex after 1 year. Well, this number would change if I punch in. I'll do that on the side here. 596, 658 for 730 days. Would give us a value of hex that we would have earned of 174,806. Right? So that would, hopefully you guys can see this. That would mean that in a 2-year stake, you'd earn $25,000 worth of hex. $25,000 worth of hex. Say if the fees were $500, right? On that. Right? We don't know. I'm not sure what the fees are in all honesty. You get $25,000 profit using somebody else's money. If you just took the profit, and put that into a separate account to pay your mortgage, right? The mortgage is $537 a month. So if you just took the profit, $25,000, you would basically have 46 months in the bank, the next 4 years. So now you could take the principal balance here of 87 and restake that for another 4 years, right? This way you're using OP. There's 2 ways to leverage things. You can leverage other people's money and you can leverage other people's time, right? We're not talking about technology here, but you can leverage other people's time, as in hiring other people and their energy to grow whatever idea you're having or want to accomplish in a business or something. And you can do that with other people's money. This case is with other people's money. So if this is 2 years, right, then you, in that 2-year time frame, you take this again and you put it out for 4 more years or 46 months, because that's what the reserve is. And let's pull up those numbers, because those ones are probably would be even more insane. So let's go back over here. We basically have the same hex. Right, we're just going to sell off or like use this, and we're not also even factoring in hedron, right? Because you would also get some hedron, and who knows what the price of hedron does. And also, before we even do that, let's say the price doubles. Let's say it goes to 30 cents. Now you've got $52,000 of profit. What if it's $2.30? You've got 400 grand from other people's money, right? You can pay off the mortgage easily, and you're still left with all the extra money. And this is using other people's money. It's not any of my money. This is just using somebody else's money. Somebody had mentioned closing costs. You just wrap closing costs in here. You don't have to do this. So GRC, look at this. So hypothetically, right? What if the price goes from, and we did the 2-year example here, right? 2 years down the road. So we're setting aside payments in a separate checking account to pay the bill for the next 2 years of $13,000. So none of this money is coming out of my pocket. I'm not paying closing costs, but you can wrap those into the mortgage, right? All of that shit is in there. So and you're more than likely going to get a lower interest rate than 5%. So this is conservative here, right? We're going to take $87,000. We're going to put that into a stake for 2 years. So this is 1 year, but it's actually 2 years because I've updated it. This is 174,000 new hex, right? But what happens if the price goes to, say, $4? Now you're at 700 grand. And this is $700,000 you get because you borrowed money. You use debt. So this is what like Blackstone does. GRC. Well, you know when you have your Wells Fargo account and you get your W-2 income and it goes into Wells Fargo, you know what they do? They loan it out to people who do exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but they don't even loan it out. Don't they just they just write down the number that it is, and then they have a percentage that they can loan out based on that that's actually higher than
you're basically 9 times. Yeah.
So however much reserves that people actually give you, that's just a ticket, right? That's just a ticket that says you can take 10 times more now. And they never actually
but they'll loan that out to like Blackstone and people who are doing
but you know what I mean? That number doesn't go straight to them. It's a separate number. So
but it's all arbitrary. It's just all made up shit anyway.
Exactly. Well, that's kind of what crypto is here to. That's why, like, that's one of the things we love talking about, right? Like, we love talking about imaginary internet money because that's what it is. We just have better imaginary internet money than the government does. They have the shittiest one ever, and they give you what is it, max CD, max out CDs like 0.5% or something. Like it's ridiculous.
Completely ridiculous.
Why would you even imagine all those plebs that sit down at the bank with somebody and say, I want to put my money into a CD? Like RIP to every one of them. They're working their whole entire lives and getting raped.
So let's talk about the mental freedom you get from understanding and taking responsibility on those expenses that you didn't have like any awareness of beforehand. Because a wild SJ, it's amazing what we don't realize we spend money on, right?
Yeah, and I can mention a couple of those things, but you can keep going.
Yeah, no, I think that says it right there.
But yeah, like the things that people buy, right? Like you're tricking yourself if you think you have to go out to eat. You're lying to yourself.
Look,
what?
No, I'm just reading Bullish's comment here. And so Bullish says, I personally know people who tried to get me to do that in the last bear market, and I did not. And they did very well. Just doing what I'm talking about, using other people's money to get rich.
Well, yeah, no, I'm trying to as well, Sam, but I'm trying to do it in a different way, right? Like when I think about I'm going to get rich already, right? Like my richness to me is already set up. I just have to wait, right? So what can I do in the interim? Like that's really what's important to me. It's like I already did all the front loading for myself, and I'm not saying all of it, guys. I'm just talking like in theoretical, but like I send my money out to my future and I keep some liquid. Okay. Therefore, what do I, if something goes wrong, I'll just sell the liquid. It sucks ass, sucks balls, terrible, not fun. But like, why all the fucking fuss? Like you already got your stakes, not you, but like in general, you already have your stakes doing 40% every day for the rest of your life. And you're getting Hedron every day per B share, which is like millions and millions of Hedron. All you have to do is Hex was designed to do a certain thing. So when you use it as designed, it works better for you. Like this is literally what Hex was designed to do. Hex was not designed to make short-term gains. It can make short-term gains, but the advantage that it gives to people is for the staking protocol. So you could just do it with any coin is what I'm saying. Like you could get the same rates with a lot of other stuff without the end stake, permanent day, because a lot of it's just a lot more open-ended. The other stuff's a little more flimsy. You can get wrecked.
Well, that's why I was looking at Hex.
But dude, if you really look up the numbers, like there's some projects that just, you could say they're not like Terra Luna and Bitcoin. I mean, Ethereum, like there's some projects that you can assume are not going to get wrecked.
No, correct. So that was the first thought process, doing two stables as a liquidity provider, right? Because the impermanent loss is very low. You have some contract risk, right? You have some contract risk that some type of bug that has never been discovered is discovered, and you lose that. But you also have that same thing with Hex or anything in crypto, right? Where that could be some type of possibility. But the other idea was to split this between multiple different things. So put the Hex out further into the future using something like stables today to generate that payment in stable today. The other thing is just there's plenty of real estate I can purchase and use real estate to pay for it. I can just, make money that way as well. But I was thinking, hey, how can I do this in crypto without a property manager, without doing any of the maintenance or hiring a maintenance person or any of that stuff? But the benefit of doing it in real estate is you get a leverage effect where you don't get leverage in crypto in this circumstance, right? If you go to real estate, you can take $100 grand and buy $500,000 worth of real estate, which means if that real estate goes up by say 10%, you're making like a 60% return on your money because of leverage, even though the market only went up 10%. Because of the equity, your return on equity is 60% or something along those lines. But we can get into those numbers at a different time. Somebody's interested. Bullish.
You want to know my strategy?
Yes, please share.
So this is what I've been doing for the last year and a half. Let me share. When I first started, I had the exact same mindset I do now. I knew I did not have the capital to gain with these other gamers. I knew I didn't, right? I only had $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 or whatever at the time. But real quick, like, I knew I didn't have enough economic energy or knowledge. You guys remember I was like sober for a while. I didn't do any education. My job stuff was a little bit open-ended. Like I wasn't, the latter years I was doing a little better, but I just knew I had to send it long. So I said, if I can send a good chunk of money right now, like I don't want to worry about my bills this month or anything. If I can get a good chunk of money and send it away. And I did it on a couple of different stakes. Then I'm set there, done. I don't have to think about that ever again. And this is how I think. Now I can add long-term stakes, and I will because I love staking.
So when you're talking medium term, like 2 to 5 year stakes?
11 years plus.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're.
But that's just a 33% of my bag. And I send it, and then I have to say, okay, if this all goes right, Sam, if this all just goes right, that's my 33% where I'm like, Scott, you were smart. You should have just, that was good. Good job, buddy. Now you're rich as fuck. And then what I do is I do a little bit more of a short-term gratification, 2 to 5 years for another 33% of my bag, right? And then I keep another 33% liquid because I don't know. Someone just ran over my car the other day and I was asleep. So now I don't have a car. So I actually I'm not going to use it, but I've never actually taken out crypto before, I don't think. I mean, other than like the most negligible amounts just to like transact back and forth. I'm going to add 2 people to the stream. 1B Hex to learn, 1B Hex Orca. Guys, how are you doing? How bad are we fucking up on these conversations? Tell us the Swiss cheese.
I wasn't able to catch probably the last 30 minutes. I was running errands and stuff, but I was tuning in earlier.
We're talking about leveraging money for crypto.
Listen, bro.
Sure.
No, I'm joking.
You want to hear what the goat strat was that you can't do anymore?
Yes, sir.
Back at the end of the last presidential administration, the CARES Act had an article in the legislation that allowed you to withdraw your 401k early without penalty. So you were able to liquidate that 401k, and if you used particular legal language from particular jurisdictions, you could actually invest that tax-free into crypto. So a pre-tax investment into crypto, and then you essentially kind of make out ahead. So like an employer 401k, you typically have to wait till you're like 55 to 60 years old in order to access it penalty-free. But this was like a one-time kind of chaos moment because of COVID that you were able to get it without having to immediately pay like an early termination fee. So if you would have combined that and then with like inflation on the horizon, maybe you look at taking out a fixed rate loan of some kind, like a federal subsidized education loan. And then you're borrowing in a premier market where you lock in low interest rates. It was a 0 interest rate opportunity for over a year. So you were able to essentially kind of migrate away from being a wage taker to being a debt taker, but leveraging the economic circumstances so that your borrowing was going to outpace inflation as opposed to having your wages depressed by inflation. So
they still have a similar. So you can still borrow from most companies depending on your company or the wherever your plan is located and how they've structured it. But you can borrow 50%. So if somebody has retirement money, they can borrow 50% and pay themselves back. So if you're like, okay, I've got $100,000, I'm going to borrow 50% of that, $50,000. You're going to pay 5% or 6%. That 5% or 6% you're paying to yourself. You're paying that money to yourself out of your W-2 check. That 50 G's you could take and put into crypto, right? So then you just put in, you're just grabbing some of that future earnings and putting it away into some type of crypto today in a bear market. The best time to purchase.
Yeah,
but similar strategy what you were just talking about.
Yeah. I think debt gets like a really ugly name, but if you borrow in an environment where the conditions are favorable, I mean, debt can be a really smart investment to make. You can extend your capital a lot further. So things that people should just be aware of. Not every economic downturn has to punish you. you can leverage the other side of the coin. So if you were typically deploying investments and expecting cash flows, maybe you want to increase positions. Like you said, in a bear market, it's a good time to buy. So if you think that you can beat 5% or call it 10% if you want to add some inflation on top, I can think of at least one asset where it's really hard not to beat 10% APY. So I think crypto is an opportunity to kind of like it's like osmosis, right? Taking money out of legacy finance and putting it in this crypto time machine where it can incubate so much faster and mature so much faster than whatever you're going to do typically over in the stock market.
So can I hear your thoughts on something real quick? And I just put it together this morning.
Sam, your mic's a little muffled. Sorry, I think my guy caught onto your neck a little bit.
Oh, Famous, you're muted, by the way.
Yeah, I think, Sam, I think you need to change the settings of your mic because I think it's on your mic of the PC.
Yeah, I think it is coming on the mic. Oh, because you unplugged it, Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Hold on.
Famous, how you doing?
Very good. Yourself, guys? How's everything? Orca, how's it going, man?
Hey, man, I felt like I was part of the team this morning hosting the thing. There was a lot of people in there, and I was trying to keep the peace.
You were up. You were alive, man. Good job, man.
Dude, I was up the whole time trying to make you proud. The whole time, I was like, dude,
where's Tangent when we need him, man? The total market cap chart is running right into the long-term EMA. We're hitting resistance right now.
Wait, so real quick about all that stuff, guys. What do you think about this 14-cent
fake pump
resistance that it's at? Is it still
fake
where
pump?
It's at?
Fake pump.
Fake pump. So Hexorca's on fake pump, but I've talked to other guys too.
I agree too.
That have said not again. This could be a fake pump. This individual pump.
Fake pump. Going to 13 cents. Be there by the end of the next week. Sit there for a while.
You think the whole market's like that, Orca? Because the way I see it is a lot of the liquidity. I haven't brought the up, but like if liquidity has been taking out and everywhere, then what's happening is like one side liquidities are going down, then it's affecting the whole market. ETH's going up. If ETH's going up, Bitcoin goes up automatically. So I think we're gonna go back down with like 40. I said 47 max. I don't know what you think on that.
Dude, you're supposed to say Moonrunner.
I know, man. I wish.
I'm talking about Bitcoin.
I hope I'm wrong, man. I've become so jaded. in the last 6 months that it's like I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong so badly.
Tell the people why. Why are you jaded? I know why.
There's just so much buffoonery going on in the market. So we like to act like crypto is some form of like a hedge against legacy markets. This is just not true. We've seen an enormous correlation, a pretty significant correlation between indexes and Bitcoin. We understand the bonded liquidity between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and we've been able to see extremely similar peaks on significant time frames in both markets. So I'm just sort of looking at there's so much fat that needs to be addressed in legacy markets. It's been propped up through the repo process over the last 2 years and more. So I'm expecting just some restructuring, just capital kind of resettling. There's been a lot of retail money flowing into stocks. Think back when people got their first stimulus check. A lot of that went straight to Robinhood. So there's something to be said about some of the investments in the market maybe are just artificial. They're propped up. Now, the American economy has done a really good job since getting off the gold reserve of sustaining propped up markets. But I think we are seeing a restructuring from a geopolitical standpoint in terms of NATO and the European Union and some of the dependencies and supply chain relationships for energy. So I don't see that as a very bullish market. I think when there's disruption like that and sort of like a passing of the torch or changing of seats, I think that tends to lead to market makers going pretty cash heavy. So I wouldn't be surprised if we go down and test probably 41 on Bitcoin. And given how things happen from a political standpoint, I wouldn't be surprised if tech experiences a pretty big sell-off and drives some of crypto down with it in the immediate term.
Your mic's still fucked.
Why
Try
do
to
you think the
just
crypto's
unplug
not
it.
correlated with the stock market? Can you hear me now?
Perfect.
I can hear you now. I thought you meant me. I was like, bro, I just ran.
No,
for so
sorry,
long.
Sam.
I'm
Yours
so
is perfect
sorry.
now. Perfect.
I felt so bad.
No, you're good. Orca.
Why do people think that crypto is not correlated with like the stock market? Because if you just look,
Sure.
especially during panic.
Why do people buy Dogecoin, dude?
They just want to believe. I mean, they just
Yeah.
want to believe that they have like a safe haven or like an environment where they're more competitive. But more and more with crypto becoming more institutionalized through some of these centralized exchanges and other service providers, you're seeing a lot of capital that's institutional capital. So it's going to be significant on the price chart, and it's going to imply certain range bound probabilities as far as price goes because of the vested interests of pretty significant sized wallets. I think that we're seeing a lot of migration from the banking industry moving into crypto over the last year and a half. So I would be pretty hard pressed to believe that the portfolio allocations are so divergent that you'd see a decoupling from legacy and crypto. I think they're going to be relatively related in the immediate term.
What are your thoughts on what we had covered just briefly? I'll give you just a summary. Pulling $100,000 of equity out of real estate, using $100,000 of equity, setting a 2-year reserve. The debt would be about $540 per month for 100 G's at a 5% over 30 years, and using the remainder, which is about $87,000.
You can pull up the chart if you want.
Okay. The remainder is $87,000, and put that into Hex as a 2-year stake, and then in 2 years using the excess to pay either off the mortgage completely or use it to pay the bills or whatever. So that's what I've effectively put together here. This says 1 year, but this is actually 2 years in terms of the numbers I put in here.
Yeah.
So 100,000, 5%, 30 years, your payment's 540. You set a reserve of this debt. So you're getting free money. You're taking that and you're putting 13,000 in a separate checking account and setting up auto draft, right? Gives you a delta of 87,000.
Okay.
You convert that this morning's rate was 14 cents.
Sure.
So you get 600,000 hex. 2-year stake, you get 174 additional hex in terms of USD. So this is not the total bag. This is just the earnings portion above and beyond 600,000 coins.
Okay.
25,000. And that's assuming price does not change.
Right.
2 years down the road, there's a decent chance price could be higher.
Sure.
$500 in fees that's why I want to ask you about this, but also about the overall thing. $500 in fees gives you a $25,000 profit. You can just take the profit off, and you're set for the next 46 months. You do another stake with your 600,000. That's not the profit. That was the principal. Do another 46-month stake, and then you can use the same thing. And at that point, pay it off. Now, there's also in 2 years, this could be maybe conservatively, maybe say $1.20, right, or something. And then you've got just the profit portion is 200 grand. So
you could
what are your
double your hex on the pulse chain, so we're going to need another 7 charts.
And the hedron that you're going to have in that state.
Yeah, it's like we could do this all day long. You're just going to be making free money out of your asshole all month for years.
It would be interesting to consider. I don't want to bring that up. That's too much of a degen strategy. But I do like these numbers. I mean, it's a really, in my opinion, it's a strategy that people should consider if they have access to equity. Right now is probably a buying opportunity in a lot of different sectors, including blue chip crypto. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of crushing borrowing terms. I like borrowing money and then just outperforming.
And that the 5% here, like this number, rates currently are probably in the mid 4s. So like this is a conservative number. I think it would be.
Yeah, and I even think like the 500 in fees is probably conservative too. So I like that. I can understand like the end staking, but again, if you want to entertain the idea that in 2 years the price of hex may be closer to $1 or something, then you can probably also assume Ethereum gas fees by that time are probably very similar to what they are today, if not even cheaper. The thesis there being some users migrating from Ethereum over to Pulse Chain, as well as any continued development on Ethereum that may lead to improved gas.
And maybe there's new projects too.
Right, for sure.
Even at 54 cents, it's still like you have enough to pay your shit off.
That's the thing, right? I think it's like in Legacy, you know that it's going to take you 5 to 7 years to double the bag. If you're performing well and you don't run into recession conditions. So doing a 2x in crypto is sort of light work. It's by no means a guarantee, but it's light work if you're able to hold on for 2 or more years. So I think a 2-year horizons, this is probably a really fair example of some of the prices that you might expect to see, as well as the expenses that are associated. So I think it's a smart strategy, man. I kind of saw the book earlier this morning, and I was like, yeah, people need to talk about this. Some people get a little off put. So for anyone listening who maybe is like, why are they telling me to take out debt? It's not for everyone, but if you are in a situation where you have the means to cover yourself and a little wiggle room, and you have untapped equity, I'm not sure what you plan on using it for. Maybe you want to build a deck or something, but if you don't have an immediate project, it might be worth looking at the market conditions and having some respect for the historical performance. If you don't think that we're going to go to the end of times in the next 2 years, if you don't think it's the end of the world, then right now probably looks like a DCA opportunity.
Interesting. Thank you. I appreciate the thoughts on that.
Of course. I'm a big fan of that plan. I'm one of the more aggressive proponents of, and maybe it's just like a cypherpunk background where I'm so anti-establishment that I'm just like, borrow all their money. The worst you could do is not pay it back. And so I think more people should look at how you can sort of create that osmosis effect, take money out of Legacy and put it in the crypto incubator.
And that doesn't in that sheet, I didn't want to even make it super like advantageous. I was trying to be conservative with it. And so I didn't factor in Hedron. Like imagine factoring in Hedron on top of that, right?
Right. And because that's where it gets interesting, right? Is imagine then at the end of your stake, and you've minted all this Hedron, but you've also got the PRC20 side. What if you make an wrapped Hedron, P Hedron, liquidity pair? Maybe there's some fees and some, alpha there that you can accrue, but I don't know. That's pretty speculative, but it wouldn't be any opportunity cost, right? It's packaged in with naturally staking hex. So, it's interesting.
That's a good point. Because you could take your Hedron, split your bag so you have half Hedron and half a stable, and just do a pair, even if it's a small amount, and it's still going to generate something.
Something, yeah. You would think. So, assuming that you can, ride a little bit of a bull market is probably what that would require to feel fine about your impermanent loss. But I think that there's a lot of opportunities like that. Even like you said, when these stakes end, now you're sitting on these hundreds of thousands of hex or whatever. You can even create the E-hex, P-hex liquidity pair there, and use those fees as immediate term cash flow for whatever minor expenses you have. And then you're still sitting on some form of hex, one of the two. What are your guys' thoughts in terms of, do you foresee a significant staking population that's larger on Pulse Chain hex than on Ethereum hex?
I have a feeling it's going to be a little flimsier because of Pulse Chain in general and how fun it is. That's just like, when I say flimsier, I mean like all the smart people are going to stake properly, of course. Like
but a lot of kind of
But
experimental.
I think there'll be a lot
stakes
of
and
different fishies that don't stake as much, but maybe they
Sure.
have hex, but maybe they never find their way to hex. Maybe really only the hexicans and like the really savvy or DeFi guys find their way to hex. I think it's way hard to say because we are so tightly funneled into doing the exact same thing because of the fees. The fees are
Right.
wrecking us, so there's no variability. If there was no fees, Sam, imagine the staking ladders people would have. Imagine all the creative things they could do. There was a day where hex was like that. And that's what people were doing. And now it's impossible. You have to do it one way. If you have no money, you have to go long, like literally, because your fees will just wreck you out every time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little bit like maybe it'll be, but for us, I don't know if there'll be more heads that do it, but it'll be super juicy for me, certainly.
You know, when anything, whether it's a person, a brand, like a coin or something, anytime it gets in here, this is how I see with Ethereum, right? Anytime that any name or idea or strategy gets into people's minds, it has value, and there's a value that I don't think a lot of people consider, which is like nostalgic value, which is if I don't know if Beanie Babies are a thing or not, but because I literally just said the word Beanie Babies, and even if it's not in the marketplace selling anything, there's still nostalgic value because everybody knows the words Beanie Babies. And that I think holds for Ethereum, especially when you stack on there the psychological effect of people. We're generally speaking, I'm brand new, right? But like on average, in our career, in our life, in our like where we are on our journeys, we're in the earlier, stages of that, or whatever you want to call yourself. I think as people build up their, economic resources, there's a shift, and like you had mentioned, Orca, blue chip crypto. There's a shift towards blue chip. There's a shift towards de-risking, and I think that could be what you were said. Hey, where do you think the hexers are going to be? Is hex going to be staked more on ETH, or hex is going to be more staked on Pulse chain? And like, if there's still so much nostalgic value, like that blue chip value associated with Ethereum, it might take some time for that to play out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's so new, but Ethereum has so much value just because people know the name.
Definitely.
And people who have larger amounts of money, they have a tendency to go with blue chip and only put a small portion of their bag in new shit that they don't know about, just because blue chip they've seen for years. This new thing isn't around, so they're definitely not going to put 100% into that.
I want my brother Famous to give his take on all of what we're saying. And he's
drop the knowledge, man.
Famous.
Yeah, so
I know you.
So like I think it's like people just don't realize that, like, people tell us like, oh, no one uses hex. Well, motherfucker, no one uses ETH neither. 38% of it is locked up in 2.0. Half of the people can't use it because they're broke. People don't use it because they're putting it in their projects, so they're like utilizing their own, like, what BNB's how much is BNB, right? So I think how much actual money's bridged over to BNB, AVAX, Phantom. Bro, no one's using ETH. I don't use ETH, and I can use it. Why the fuck would I use it?
Hey, that makes me. I have a question for you later, Famous, about some cross-chain opportunities.
So this is what I'm going to get at. People just don't realize that you're going to be able to spend your money on Pulse Chain. You're going to be able to do so much more stakes. Now, there's also things that, like, when I was listening to you guys, like, utilizing, I was getting like this idea where it was like, but the best idea would be to like maximize your profit as the liquidity provider, right? So you could take your money, do whatever you want with it, get the copies. The copies now is probably the move, right? But once the copies are made, what is the move, right? I think the move is to take your liquidity providing or your staking pool asset and turning it into hex. And I'll explain why. Because hex, at some point, you could dump it or you could stake it, right? So your 100% incentive, or what you make from your providing or your staking, then becomes more, right? So you could take 100% of it, which is like what the incentive. Let's call it incentive, right? So incentive is at 100%. Take 75% of it and keep it in incentive, and 25% of it put it in hex. So if everything's paired to hex, well, then you're adding a certain pressure that people are not considering in other markets, which is you're delaying gratification on your incentive, and you're boosting a price which we want. And Richard has been like telling us, like, pair everything to it. Why? Because remember when I was saying, like, I would love P hex to be the incentive, right?
Yeah.
Because of that tool, right? Because if we were to just use PLS, well, then you can only delegate it, right? So that's how you can make more with your incentive. Or you could take half your incentive and provide liquidity, but then you got impermanent loss. PLSX, you could do a single hand staking, but then you only get IFO, whatever pools or whatever is there, and then you dump that to oblivion. But it just never brings up the price of Hex, right? So if we're pairing everything to Hex, well, then what would be the right move? It would be to go ahead and utilize the burn, so on the transaction, and the burn on the swap, and then you're also getting a burn because you're staking. So it's like a triple burn action that happens with one thing, which is all originated from providing liquidity and delaying your
that's
liquidity.
interesting. I think that's an important concept to combine sort of the fundamentals behind PulseX and Pulse Chain, and then bonding the liquidity to Hex so that you're swapping from incentive to Hex, which is buy pressure on Hex, right? Instead of incentive to USDC, which is technically a drain on Hex, depending on how the liquidity is routed.
Can you talk about that? Because you had mentioned Hex to Learn as well about pairing it with PHEX. What does that mean?
In terms of just like a liquidity pool.
You're pairing incentives with PHEX or something, I think you had mentioned, or verbiage similar to that. What does that mean exactly?
So you're providing, so you pair any coin you have to Hex. So you use
PulseX.
In the LPs?
You create more you create more pools where you could go ahead and dip, right? So remember the other day we were looking at PLSX and I was trying to show you guys the routing aspect, where if you were to remove that last part in the settings, it shows you that you could swap directly to the pair, or if you click off, then it goes through a pair routing, and then the routing would always give you more because the pair would be more of an effect. Well, with time, that might be the opposite. It might be better with the pair than it would be routing. So you always have to go ahead and look at that. Why? Because of how liquidity is, So if we have more liquidity in Hex that's provided with Hex, well then, hey guys, when we do something on one side, on the other side it happens also. So it's the beauty of liquidity, man. Why do you think
that
ETH
was
is
beautiful,
doing so well?
dude.
Why do you think ETH does so well? It's people just don't realize that.
That was amazing.
When do you think ETH is going to flip Bitcoin?
When is ETH going to flip Bitcoin?
The next big pumperoonie will probably.
I've been looking at the ETH and the chart of ETH and Bitcoin, and I was looking at the day chart, man, and it's like it kind of looks like the T-shares.
Don't be afraid to pull anything up, boys. If you want to mess around,
Yeah, hold on.
But you don't have to. And also, Famous, can you send me a JPEG of your profile picture so I can make a thumbnail?
Yeah, I got you. I even have one with no background, so I'll send you
anything you got. I would love.
Yeah, man, ETH does look really bullish, considering how suppressed the market is right now.
But it looks like how how like the T-shares. It reminds me of like how the T-shares went like boom, and then just the price of T-share a payout. So like, I like to look at like these graphs and like try and look at like how did humans affect this chart, regardless of how the math did, right? Because it's not complicated. It's like you're taking this compared to this. So then how did the humans compare to this chart? So you look at 2017, we all know what happened. Then you look at that massive dip, we all know what happened. Then in 2018, we all know what happened because it took over a bit because of DeFi. And then it slowly, Bitcoin took its root back, and then shit's been going hyperbolic. But now we're if we look here, I'm just looking at this and I don't want to zoom in because it makes you more confused. But when you look out,
it looks really bullish.
Yeah, but for how long though? Because here it's like 18. This is 3 years. This is 3 years right here.
That's pretty crazy.
Very good point. Yeah.
Wow. So
but if we were to look at the overall market cap, it would be like this. Wait, how am I doing it it would go like this. Market cap, and then market cap is going like this, and then slowly market cap of these two coins is going like this. And now we've steady gained that 50%. So it's like, why is it steady polling? So when I was looking at Bitcoin, and I know everyone's going to be like, oh my God, lines and triangles, but this is just the way I've seen it. Okay? Like, oh fuck, I'm on the wrong thing. Hold up. So when I'm looking at it, I'm like saying that the targets have always been because of like the actions of humans, and it's not quarters, it's like cycles of like people realizing, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. So it's like the market late. So I think like right now, I was always planning on the market in March 24th, and I know I said this to Matt Hatter, March 24th booming, and it's been around now. Why? Because back in the day, everything was always planning, and always everything was always looking at like, you know, bullshit triangle shit, you know, like the easiest statistical way of looking at averages. But now there's something occurring which I don't know what it is now.
It's like the observer effect. It's like everyone notices the same pattern, so now the pattern can't work in the future because there's people acting on it. You know, when we talk about cycles, it's like, oh, it always every 4 years, blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, but if everyone always knows, then the players' strategies may change.
Because it's also like, bro, we're still on course. Like, I don't understand. Like, people are saying, oh, we're dying. Like,
we're in a bear market, bro. We're going to zero. ETH to zero.
Dude, Richard Hart's been telling me 85% dips are part of the game since I got in here, and I always just believe
it.
Man.
Like,
cool. I was just like, okay, I trust you.
I'm getting so bullish on Ethereum, waiting for Pulse Chain.
So I'm just bullish. I've always said this to one of my friends that always said to me, like, yo, Bitcoin's the shit, Bitcoin's the shit. I'm like, bro, the best way for cryptocurrency to thrive is Bitcoin at 10% market cap. That's it. That's all. It would be the best way. It would be the best thing for crypto.
I'm trying to gaslight myself. I created a meme narrative that says Bitcoin was designed to fail. It was designed to die. That's my meme narrative that I'm gaslighting myself with, so that I think it's a future where it's like just a very small piece of the market.
I think it's as simple as when Richard says, "I didn't plan for this. I didn't plan for, you know, when he says, I didn't plan for, you know, hackers losing. I didn't plan for the EES to help us with the hackers and to make the hackers lose. You know, like he didn't, you know, there's things that I bet you Hedron didn't plan for, and it's going to happen. You know, there's things that Satoshi, like, could not have planned for because he was trying other things, right? And like, we have adopted this to do what it does. We have adopted the DeFi. We have adopted the bullshit NFT marketplace. So we're gonna adopt this. Yeah, man. I just love this flag.
How much of Ethereum's liquidity is in DeFi?
I think 10% of. I think technically 10% of it.
Not enough.
Like it's not enough because of wrapped. It's because it can only be wrapped ETH if I'm not mistaken. Because you need to, yeah, man. It's all a mind fuck. It's all people think that there's $300 billion in ETH. It makes me die of laughter. It's like, no, guys. It's like that's gonna be Pulse Chain one day if you do it properly.
Sam, you gotta run, my man.
Yes, my buddy's closing on a gym. He's purchasing a gym and something else, and I got to run. But hey, Hex to Learn, thank you for the insights.
My pleasure, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Maybe I can wake up earlier tomorrow, man. I'm sorry.
No, dude, you're good. I appreciate it. Orica, cool, awesome. First time coming on live with you. I appreciate the insights, and like, it seems like the background on the finance side or whatnot is interesting or similar in some aspects to.
Yeah, man. I love watching you on the show, man, on Hex in the Morning. So I'm glad that we got to pile around this morning. Then we'll do it again.
That's awesome. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I appreciate you guys.
Biceps in the chat for Sam, guys. Biceps in the chat for Sam.
Flex on him, baby. Flex on him.
Do it for the algo and do it for Sam.
Do it for the algo.
Peace out.
Peace.
You don't think Hex could go to 17, man?
No, dude. If it did, if it held support at 19 cents, I believe mine.
So I know you think it can't. So if you're saying fake dump Orca, okay, well, the pairing of the liquidity of Hex right now is going 50-50. Like,
dude, it looks so bullish from liquidity point of view.
It does, but also the pairing of like how the liquidity is. Like Hex is the way was looking at it, and he's like, man, we're almost like we're 50-50. So like we're gonna go with the market. Yeah, almost. I don't know, but if for like the last week and a half, we've been looking at that, and like a lot of USDC has been taken out. So,
lame. Oh well, I mean that's why I'm kind of bullish though, right? Is it's thin, but if it's tied to ETH, and that's why I'm just hesitant to say bullish things about it, is because I think the macro will decide. I don't think it'll just be an independent run by Hex.
You think you'll see it coming though? Like, I mean, when I say
I think it's just that you got a lot of people who are hurting, man. There's people for 6 to 7 months or whatever who are hurting. So I think if you were to get a divergent bull run on Hex where the rest of the market is kind of flat or down even, I think a lot of people would just salvage their pain for right or for
Oh,
wrong.
Good point.
Well, what about people just realizing that they could use the network?
In terms of pulse chain.
No, in terms of just ETH right now. Like I haven't even thought about that. I'm just thinking about it right now because it's like we are in it every day. Like we're here every day and like we're doing shit every day. We're looking at prices, we're looking at gas, the GUI and stuff like that. But people like they're on like exchanges and they're like looking at exchanges not doing that well because everything's been doing shit. But now all of a sudden everything's doing well. Why? Oh, transactions are $1 because maybe the fools are like, telling people, oh, dollar transactions, dollar to send, $10 swaps. So people are like, oh shit, it's worth it now. No, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
that's why I was kind of bullish, right? Is it's like Ethereum's not as painful right now. I mean, it's still disgusting. Like Vitalik said it, man. Anything above 5 cents is a failure to Ethereum. That those are his words, man, not mine. So
Vitalik, failure. No,
yeah, so it's like, hey, man, $10 is not 5 cents. $3 is not 5 cents.
Yeah, $10 is rare.
But $10 is still fucking better than going to the bank and exchanging money.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, but then you can play that game with like, sure, it's better, but that doesn't justify it being 80% of a hedge fund's portfolio. So you're still only going to get a 2 to 3% draw on big money. So probably something like Pulse Chain, even just serving as the transaction layer for Ethereum, even for like exchanges, right? From an exchange point of view, being able to internally manage liquidity without hitting the blockchain on Ethereum for fees. I mean, that could definitely pump things astronomically that I just don't think that we see even with $10 fees right now. I think there's something to be said about who's going to be the person that pays the premium. And I don't think that institutional money has any interest in paying a premium on something where they make fees, allowing everyone else to try to make trades. So they don't really have any incentive to go and accumulate more of their asset if they can range bound price in the order books. So there's probably enough money in Coinbase to be able to keep Bitcoin and Ethereum tamed, not like controlled, but keep it from 7xing tomorrow night, just because of the leverage services that they offer and the transparency they have internally with their order book, things like that.
Crazy. I never thought about it like that with exchanges because like it's true they could technically like change their whole the way they work. And
yeah, I don't know that anyone who's offering 100x leverage on Bitcoin futures trading is too interested in paying the premium to get you to 100k Bitcoin. Sort of sounds like a lose-lose from an exchange point of view.
Hey, thanks for stopping by, Hex Phantom. You're the man. I think it's the first time in the chat. I appreciate you coming through. You're the man.
Yo, guys, I've been using the testnet, and I just technically like I'm almost at a 7x right now in like a week.
On what? On testnet?
Actually, I'm at a 9x right now.
Does it represent like what it could look like?
Wait, that much, then that much. Now I'm at an 8. I'm at an 9x almost.
Pathetic. Should have bought the S&P 500.
Can you guys help me understand when Richard Hart tweeted just not so long ago, about an hour, he said, PulseX.com news: 2.2 billion PulseX have been burned. Oh, he made a misspelling. Haha. Have been burned in 2 days on testnet. Buy and burn contract seems to be working pretty well. What does this mean?
Yeah, he's referring to the public call function for the buy and burn. So like whenever you do the swaps through PulseX, a small percentage of the fees is accumulated to purchase.
So is that just a representation of how many people are using the network in the testnet?
It's there. Didn't he say? I thought he also gave us like a number like 2 billion transactions in the last 2 days. Or no, he said 2 billion PulseX was burned.
Yeah, 2.2 billion pulsex has been
Okay.
burned in the last 2 days on testnet. Buy and burn. So basically, he's saying its functionality is working beautifully. He's not saying.
Yeah, it's working, and it shows you that a lot of people are making a lot of hypothetical moves on pulse chain testnet. So
Ooh, that's great insight.
because you can only accrue that buy and burn fee if people are swapping and things like that.
Yep.
The someone walked me through the party token. So I've not done enough with the testnet in the last like 5 days.
I
So
could do
I'm
it. I
seeing
could do it.
PRT and
Thanks
INC.
to
Yeah, I
learn.
figured
It's
you could.
like
I could
that's
show
like
you.
his bread and bud.
I was meaning to get into a Twitter space to talk about it with you guys. I've been kind of busy.
Yeah. I know, bro. I can say, if you have any questions, did you play around with it? Because like I've been
Yeah, a
like,
little
playing
bit.
around with everything. Like I have even
Dude,
tried
it's so
to like.
sexy.
I've
I
been
get
trying
so
to
uncomfortable when
over.
it confirms your transaction in like 7-8 seconds, dude. It's like, what the fuck is going on? It makes me I FOMO so hard every time a transaction goes through. I'm like, this
What
is
do you do?
amazing.
Do you try the advanced option?
No, I haven't flipped them around at all.
Well, fuck. If it's a thousandth of a percent, right? Because if
Right,
if
just to
one pulse
boost
is
it.
a thousandth, if one pulse is 100th of a cent, and then where the transactions are,
Dude, it's so
1,000th
funny
of a
though.
pulse.
I think about shit like that, and it's like, dude, the people that were speeding up Ethereum transactions and stuff, and now you got to imagine like, even if they've burned like 0.9 Ethereum just back in the day, speeding shit up, it's like that's a couple $1,000 now. It's so funny, but I don't think that'll be as noticeable with Pulse Chain, right? It scales a lot better, so it's
Well, at the
easier to
beginning,
sort of degen in.
it'll be degenerate, but then
Yeah.
then it'll get to a point where it's like it'll make sense.
Mhm.
I think. But like, yeah, I don't. Am I sharing my screen? No, I'm not. So I'm just like waiting for
My
you
bad,
guys to
hold on.
watch me. No, give me a second.
I'll share this out too, just so everyone knows that I'm a dummy that doesn't know anything about these tokens right now.
No, it's okay. But what do you know? So I understand.
So I understand that
Obviously,
INC is the
and I
incentive token,
like,
right? And then
yeah,
PRT, I was a little confused because I heard rumblings that PRT allows you to get paid out in tokens of your choice. That didn't sound right to me. That sounded bizarre.
yeah. Okay, so this is what I think it is. So when we look at Pancake Swap, Finance, okay, there's 3 pools, and they were testing out the features because we were looking at this with the Twitter Spaces at
Mhm.
night, and we were like, at 1 time they were doing one thing, and they like switched all the properties of like everything. They switched the buttons, they switched how the layout, everything, even the stuff that was written. Like they're testing different things. You know what I mean? Why does
Mhm.
they keep switching? Hold up. No, Jim Rat, just mute your mic. Okay, so on here where it's the farms, no pools. Sorry, it's on pools, right? So it has the same concept, farm pools, right?
Mhm.
Why isn't it? Bro, every time I'm streaming, it just does this. I think it's because we're streaming. So there's 3 types of pools here, right? So they have an IFO pool, which is timed. Then they have the auto cake, which is perpetual, and it auto compounds itself. It'll tell me how many times it should tell me
Okay.
for you. So performance 2% within 72 hours. Fee. Okay, so it doesn't really tell me. So I like the other ones would usually, but
Sure.
usually this auto compounds itself so many times, right? So does it tell me on here? No, it doesn't. So
And
at
then
one
the
point it'll
APY terms are in token terms, so like 60% APY in
yeah.
cake token
So
terms.
exactly, but the AFO, so you stake cake to participate in IFOs, right?
So you have
you
to have cake staked in order to participate in any IFO?
yeah, so it's ironic that the incentive token or the coin that's given to the single-sided staking is cake.
Mhm.
You understand? So it's just ironic because it's technically the coin. It's not because it's giving itself. It's just that
Right.
they chose to give out cake. So then when the other tokens come in and they give, right? So you earn the other tokens, you have to put cake. So I'm presuming right? We're presuming that because we're putting in the token that we of the DEX, you're getting the incentive of the pools
and
to
then you
go
go
ahead.
stake that in an IFO.
Exactly. So because what made me think
Gotcha.
that was that on this it had a manual
Right.
button here, and Hexy could confirm that with you, and had a manual button, and the
Mhm.
manual button allowed you to go ahead and calculate how many times or how much APR you would get if you were to
Mhm.
compound it 12 times in a day, 24 times in a day, 40
Gotcha.
times, 50 times, and it helps you because on on this DEX it's going to be much better because you could compound it how many times you want, right? If it costs
Yeah,
you
without
nothing.
getting burned up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's the whole point of the
Very
PRT,
cool.
man. And then
Okay.
slowly but surely they're gonna have, I guess, more pools. They're gonna come out. They just have this one for now, but I'm presuming this is the IFO because the IFOs are pausable and ownable. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Very cool. No, that explains it easily, so I appreciate that.
Did
I figured that they were either lying to my face or I was just missing a step, and it turns out I was just missing a step, so it makes sense.
oh.
Similar to Cake.
But yeah, man,
Very cool, man.
this thing has been peaching out money, man.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait. I'm probably gonna do a lot more liquidity providing than I had initially planned.
At the beginning, I
Probably.
think it would be wise.
Yeah, I think there's a few pairs that I would like to be a part of.
I really think everything would be amazing, man, because you got in USDC for nothing. Because
Right.
USDC costed you 2 cents for one USDC.
Right.
So
That
it's
is
like you'll
interesting.
make money. Like I remember, man, I had bought. Okay, so I know everyone's laughing. It was like, well, it was $22. Yeah, but like I started here with $1.80, and then
That's
I took it
bizarre.
out, and then I took out and left whatever there was, and now it's at $20. So it's like I was at like $13 with everything, right? So all the pools put together. So now add everything up 20, 18, 11. And then you look at here, right? There's 24 and then another 10. Oh, this just dropped because this was at like 30 and this was at 10. But
Sure.
so like think about it, man. This thing's been going up like crazy from the last week. And I haven't
Yeah, it'll
touched it.
be
I just
interesting to see like what the real APYs come out to be and things like that. I do think it'll be highly profitable. I just wonder how well it'll scale for individuals who aren't bringing as much weight to the pools. I think because it's such an early adoption, get it off the ground going. I think especially with the single asset staking without that impermanent loss risk, I think a lot of people can do really well for themselves. I'm excited for PulseX, man. I see it as a very equitable opportunity, and Pulse Chain. But I know that a lot of people didn't learn about Pulse Chain in time to get in for the sacrifice. I just feel like it's really cool that PulseX has such an awesome value proposition because I don't think that people have to feel like they've missed out on anything. I think they can
Mhm.
be as beneficial to their own portfolio with PulseX as they likely would have been with Pulse Chain. And it's early enough that you can still swap and bring in new capital and stuff like that. And a lot of people are excited to try and swap into Pulse Chain. I think it's, for me, I'm trying to help people understand like bringing in new capital, if possible, you're early enough. Like if you have to wait for a paycheck or two or three or four, you're so early. You can do that. You don't have to have all the money today to be successful on Pulse Chain, even if you miss the sacrifice.
No, you're right. There's so many game theories in my head. It's like which one's the best, Because it's like what if,
That's
and
the
then it's
funny
like,
thing is like
and,
now I'm gonna have
and
a Richard Hart eco
yeah,
portfolio, like just a whole separate investment portfolio where it's like, well, this is all my different Pulse Chain relevant plays.
yeah, man. And not only that, on the testnet, they allowed us to do so much stuff. I don't know if you did it. So you're able to bridge, you're able to stake, you're able to swap,
I
you're
didn't
able to
use the
provide liquid.
bridge, but that brings me up
I can
to
show it to you.
yeah, show me the bridge if you don't mind. I
Here,
was
this is
going
it.
to bring up. I've been hearing more and more about like Thor Chain, and they're
Mhm.
maybe going to look at integrating so that there's cross chain fiat onboarding potential into Pulse Chain. Was some of the rumblings I was hearing.
I'm
I
pretty
didn't know
sure
if
they're
you had
gonna.
any
I'm pretty
experience with
sure.
Thor Chain and Rune or whatever it's called.
Not really. I didn't really want it to get in it,
Mhm.
but I liked it. didn't
sounds
want to.
compelling. I just haven't done enough
It's
research
just
to really know what.
it's just different
what's
because
going
then
on.
I know someone who has been doing it. I know people that have been, like it's just something else that has potential, right?
Right. Yeah, I
It
just wanted to keep
it's
it on the radar because it's
yeah.
like, man, if I can get, if I can avoid the Ethereum bridge fee, if I could go like AVAX with a cheap
I
fee
think
through the
BNB
bridge
would be the
there.
best.
Well,
BNB
yeah,
for me
sure.
would be the easiest, man.
I just like hate saying BNB out loud. It makes me turn violent.
Oh, it's
Hate
okay, man.
CC.
I'm
Why?
sorry,
Just
man.
because it's Binance,
Yeah, just because fuck them. That's why.
scumlords.
It is fuck 'em, but I'd
But
rather
it's better than an Ethereum fee.
I would actually rather use their coins and put their coins in a bridge. To be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Why you say
That's
that?
right.
Because it's just stable.
Well, because then when they go dump their coins, it does
I
more of an effect.
see volume, just moving through the
Liquidity.
system.
You're taking out if you take out 70% of their coins, then they're trading with 30. Well, then the loss, the ratio percentage change is so much greater than if they had the other 70.
I think
Fuck
that
'em.
is interesting, though, just because we have all these other EVM compatible chains with lower fees. They may not have like the development density. They don't have as many projects, obviously, as Ethereum. Therefore, not nearly as many users. Chicken and egg there. Users first, probably. But they can still serve as an awesome utility for minimal fee to get into like Pulse Chain, where the
You know how
environment is
funny?
really good.
You want to know how they could actually fuck with them? They could literally take like what, $25 billion, right? Go
Mhm.
ahead, bridge it out one way, right?
Mhm.
So if people create bridges, this is what people don't realize, and I don't even know if I should say this out loud on stream, but people don't realize that how we could fuck every single bridge and fuck every single coin. So what we do is just take money, bridge it off one way, bring it somewhere, turn it into something, bring it in. Then when we bring it in, you say, bye-bye, I'm bringing it all to the bridge. Take it into the bridge, lose money, take it in, bring it somewhere else, pay it off, turn it into that, put it in, take it, say, bye-bye,
Right.
take the
It's like a
money,
vampire
put it
attack, right?
put it in the bridge, boom, done, lock it up. Next thing, put it in. I don't even know if people keep up with me. What I'm saying, it's like, yeah, but it's not a vampire attack. It's fucking them, saying, oh, now you have no choice to come here. Why? Because everything's here.
What's the
Right.
easiest way to swap Binance coins to ETH? Noob
Or
here.
you could just drain out every EVM liquidity because they're all connected by bridges. So you could just go on the DEX and just do whatever you want. Come in as a big player and say, I want all this token, and then just bridge it back out. You have it. You don't even have to go through the DEX, the SEX, and then you just say, okay, I'm bridging it out, and you bridge it to the Pulse chain. You just bridge out all that liquidity, and it's in the Pulse chain. But then what they're gonna they're gonna null the tokens.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be disruptive. I think a lot of potential just backlash. But
I don't even know if I should have said that because that's crazy. I don't
that's
even
what
know if I
Richard
should have
wants.
said that.
So what's the easiest way to swap Binance coins to ETH noob here? You can. Do you want to swap it to ETH or to wrapped ETH?
Well, you would have to bridge it over, right? So if you have the
Right.
money to bridge, you could just bridge over ETH and then just swap in a DEX. So if you were to swap, how much liquidity that would it have? Where would I go verify that? I guess DEX tools. I guess I don't know if they would have that on Binance. What? They don't have anything. Oh no, that's the name. Oops.
I think Pancake Swap Shell is the DEX that most people use for Binance.
And then Ninja brought up Change Jelly. Change Jelly, I like to call it. That's a really good one.
How do you spell
Yeah,
that?
but they definitely don't have enough liquidity to do $15 billion.
Oh, for sure.
I can't do it then because
Right. 15
That-
billion or bust.
sorry,
And
guys.
you definitely can't put $15 billion in a CX.
Dex Tools sucks.
Mellow in the house. Get him in here, man.
Hey, Mello. I think you're the same guy from the Twitter Spaces potentially, but I'm not sure. Your picture,
Maybe not.
your
Maybe
picture's
not.
really cool. I don't think I've seen you in the comments before. I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you're enjoying yourself and having a good day.
I'm pretty sure that's his name on Twitter, Pulsinator.
Yeah, that's
It's hard.
Mellow. 100%.
Yeah, Mello. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, I can hear him here, man. He's like, "Yo, what's up?"
Yeah, it's almost like if he was talking, I would know, but I can't. Like I know these people by voice now more.
Yeah, Expollinate. Yo, Mello, I hope Expollinate gives a fucking airdrop. Let's go for its users. Let's go.
Dex Screener is fire. What is that? Where
Yeah,
you
they're all good. They're all good Dex Guru. As it says, they all just don't connect to the Dex and play with the Dex. Go on the normal, the Dex tools. Don't go on the normal Dex. Just don't interact with these things because at the end of the day, they always charge you fees. It's like, why the fuck would you pay more expensive? Anyways, so this just shows to you that like they have a lot of liquidity, man. You want to be honest? Total liquidity at like $130 million. Like you won't find billions. Forget about it. What up, Wales?
Good morning, Wales. I hope you're doing
So
good.
there's because remember, there's only like what 10% of like the wrap that's used. So bridged out, 38% of it is locked up. Like people just don't realize that. Like
Explain
this
a
is-
little bit while you're going. All these intuitive thoughts you're having, I'm not having.
who's saying that?
Is that locked Ethereum? Is that all 2.0 Ethereum?
Yeah, it should be.
Is that what that lock is?
But you never know, man. Honestly, I don't even know, but it's supposed to. It's supposed to be that. It's
I
supposed to
assume
be.
that's what they're calculating.
Plus,
but
it's like almost 90% of it's locked up, technically TVL, because it's like in places, in indexes, in wallets. I haven't moved it, so it's like
it's interesting.
yeah,
That's the transparency. It's like you can paint a lot of narratives however you want in crypto based on who you claim is holding what, and just that like essence of Satoshi, right? It's like, yeah, well, it's a million of them, but they haven't ever moved. So how do you calculate it? All it takes is them moving one time, and it would disrupt everything. So,
You guys address this before I get upset.
what is this wagon airdrop? What the fuck is that?
Oh, wagon airdrop. Yo, shouts out to the wagon. Bro, I'm hearing about a wagon airdrop. Oh, yeah, man. It's your right. So, okay, listen. So you have the right to sacrifice, right? Okay, so imagine you could sacrifice your right to sacrifice and buy Hex. Bam. That's it. Mic drop.
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right.
So
Hex to $1 million.
Wagonomics.
Hex 100,000 BTC Christmas.
101. Wagonomics, dude.
So basically what's happening right now, Orca, is the bridge is the easiest thing. So I've been trying my best to actually get testnet, Rinkeby, Hex, and get it, but I simply cannot get it because I want to actually get E-Hex.
Right? Oh, I got you.
First thing. I want to get E-Hex in it, but it doesn't exist, so I don't think it's possible to get it right now.
Darn. That's you can't bridge in E-Hex?
Well, I've tried to do this swap, but there's no Hex on the other side in Rinkeby.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I've tried to swap it. Well, actually, did it give it to me? No, it still hasn't given it to me. It just sends my ETH to someone.
Is there? I mean, have you checked the GitLab? Like, is there a particular contract that you need to just upload?
No.
In there,
so
or?
when you come here, I think they did it on purpose. So when you come here, liquidity. I hate this, man. That I have to. That's why I use more than one profile, so it doesn't fucking piss me off. Come here, manage token. You click the little button here, guys. You click C. So it looks like the bridge will only accept these tokens.
Ah, okay.
That you could play with on
your I see. Okay.
So you can only get EE. So if you want, I could show it. Like, it's very simple, man. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. So like, look, let's change it back. So I already bridged over P Hex. So the P Hex is gonna be different than the ETH because the ETH is so much easier. So let's do the ETH first since it's easier. So I'm gonna bridge over One.
There's some whispers in the chat of a Tupac resemblance, the Italian Tupac.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I love it, man. I love
The
that shit,
Italian
man.
Tupac.
I'm like
Okay,
the clean.
that
I'm like
might
the
be a
cleaning lady.
game.
I clean.
OG, the original Gabagool.
Mm-hmm. Gabagool. Mortadella soprezzata, mozzarella. Linguini, fettuccini, ravioli.
Chat's getting
farfalle.
hungry.
You know what I mean? Some rosé
So we
sauce,
have the
bolognese,
Italian.
carbonata,
We have the Italian Tupac in the high tea
crema
Gary
con
V.
broccoli,
So we have two
pasta
superheroes
rapini.
in here. One is the Italian Tupac. The other one is the high tea Gary V. Sam's high tea Gary Vaynerchuk.
That is hilarious, man. High tea Gary V.
He looks like Gary V.
Dude, it does. The first time that you guys were on stream together, I literally did a double take. I was like wiping the sleep out of my eyes. I was like, does this motherfucker have Gary Vaynerchuk on his show?
Yeah, and the funny part is, it's
the
like
bridge is not working, guys. That's hilarious.
Dude, this testnet sucks. I am shorting Pulse Chain as of today.
Okay, well, I've already done it. I'm shorting Pulse Chain.
Where's the short button?
Yeah, I went to FTX and took out a tokenized future on Pulse Chain. I'm shorting it into oblivion right now.
Oh, there you go. You see, it was just a little glitch, man. You gotta refresh, guys. You know, you gotta refresh, man.
So glitchy, dude.
That's not 100% uptime. I'm out of this.
See, unlike driving, you could do this under the influence. So you just gotta make sure you're doing it properly. You know.
I thought crypto, you had to be under some kind of influence.
Yeah, basically to make it here.
Over.
To make it here, you gotta smoke a lot of reefer.
Yeah, you're not allowed to.
You gotta smoke a lot of reefer to go down these rabbit holes.
I wish I could battle Snoop Dogg, bro. I wish. I'll see. I could probably last 2 days. If he could last 2 days.
That's hilarious.
Like, I know he would sleep too, bro. Like, at one point, he would fall asleep, man. The guy's so fucking... We would get so hungry, bro. Like, guy, it's impossible Snoop Dogg could smoke that much. Like, he has to get hungry.
It's crazy how thin he is, man. It's crazy. He must just eat weed.
Must
like,
eat.
He gets high and his munchies are like, I'm eating a hemp granola bar.
I think it's just he's pretty tall too, man. Like when you're tall, it's like you could have a lot of muscle. It's just like it's even like Wiz Khalifa, you know, like he's probably strapped right now, but he's not. Yeah, he's pretty tall too. So
dude, Wiz Khalifa got jacked.
Did
he? He does like sports, yeah.
Dude, watch. I'm gonna pull up a video of him, a picture of him. Like he's like
I haven't seen him since like I don't know, his like second album.
In my experience, we call that a little bit of dabbling with performance.
Oh yeah, he's had a trip to the chemist. He was sharing the chemistry
he's
101
now,
notes.
Bro, look at him. Remember he was like this? Look at him now, bro. This motherfucker will break you. He'll break you now. He's
Y'all
insane,
ever see
bro.
the show Rick and Morty, where Morty's
bro, he's
talking
insane
about
now. He's
the
fucking
tickets, please,
huge.
guys. Check out the cum gutters on that guy.
He looks great. I'm sure he's
no,
not
but look
huge,
how skinny he was. Look how skinny he was, bro. He was skinny than a motherfucker, bro. This is the little fucking Wiz from the Berg.
Is that him doing like Muay Thai or kickboxing?
Yeah, he does. He's been doing it for a long time, and like he's been active on Twitter, and like he trains all the time. Yeah, he does MMA.
He could be natural, to be honest. He really could.
He's got all the time in the world,
bro, he's fucking tall, bro. Look at him.
Oh, he's tall.
Let me see that picture. Zoom in on that one. I want to see how big he is in that shirt, because then I can tell his actual size.
Oh, he's like 6'4".
No, I know. I want to see how he fills out that shirt.
Well, Snoop Dogg's pretty fucking tall, so.
Snoop Dogg's really tall. I'm bullish on Wiz Khalifa.
Right, Wiz Khalifa's the new generation of Wiz, bro. Look at that, bro. He's fucking tall as fuck. He's as big as.
Oh damn, he is tall as fuck.
Bro, you want to do, man?
If somebody offered me some money, I'd go in the ring with him.
Check out the new album, Stoner Nights with Juicy J and Wiz Khalifa, out now on Spotify, man. This is not paid promotion. I wish it was. Show me some KK, Wiz.
How much hex do you think we could get for a Wiz Khalifa versus GRC fight in the octagon if we had to crowdfund it?
If we did what, sorry?
How much do you think we would need to give Wiz Khalifa to get into the cage with GRC?
Bro, you would have to give him.
No, I know. How much money would I have to basically? Oh, I know that. That would be like, I wonder if
I don't know, man. I don't know.
2 million? 2 million?
I
He
don't
can
know.
probably kick my ass. So it's probably a win-win for him. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude's kickboxing and shit. Are you kidding? He's gonna kick the shit out.
I
of
got a buddy who's a professional kickboxer.
Yeah, usually people that do MMA will
think
like
he's-
destroy you,
I think
man.
he's currently undefeated.
Oh,
Like
dude,
if they
they-
know, like
yeah.
even a girl will probably kick your ass if she does
They
MMA.
will. No, they 100% will. People
Yeah,
always
like,
say that too. Like they're
Probably like a
"Man,
15-year-old girl.
I had an idea for
She'll
a
probably
company.
kick my ass too, bro. Because if she's advanced, then fucking I've only done judo and shit and karate's like like whatever, man.
I want to start a company where we get UFC girls to fight random Joes that think they can fight. And that like we just get the UFC pros, and then maybe once a year, like a dude has just got a lot of heart and he like beats the shit out of some girl. And we're just like he wins $1 million. Like it'll be like Amanda Nunes or something, and she'll just beat everyone's ass.
Dude, this is how, if you ever want to know how hard
Oh.
it is to grind as a professional MMA fighter, my buddy's 5-0 in his pro career with 3 knockouts. As an amateur, he's 41-13 with 12 knockouts. He's a 16-time national champion, and he's got 22,000 followers. The dude's knocking people out like a hitman. He can barely get over 20K followers.
COTG says I'd murk a 15-year-old girl.
Oh my god.
That sounds weird in the context, but
Oh my god. Spinning roundhouse. You never saw
Okay,
it.
so you see that the Sable multi hoop, you definitely know about this, right? So you get like, you see that? Look at that, boom.
how
Oh,
many
is that like when it does
7-year-olds?
smart routing?
Yeah.
How many
Like your
7-year-olds
multiple
would it
drop?
take to take you down?
Sorry?
Honestly, so I used to work at a daycare, so I probably have the math on this. You know, in current condition, because I've had a knee injury, so I got to take that into account, especially because they're, you know, typically fighting below the waist. So it's important to consider if they're going to be boys who are a little more rambunctious, they tend to fight a little dirtier. You can probably keep 3 easily. You can always keep one off with one arm, sweep the leg, you got one on the ground. So that's managing 2. And then you just got to be able to fist fight a child with your offhand.
No,
And
but
I
I'm
feel pretty
saying, what if
confident
like
about
there
it.
was like a horde of them, like
Right. So I feel confident with about 3 at a time, right? So then it comes down to being able to keep your distance and sort of circle around the crowd. So I'm thinking I could take on, I'd say if I'm wearing shorts, if it's like free moving mobility clothes, I could take 9 children. I could take 9 7-year-olds, no doubt. I'd put my bag on the line for that, and I think I'd probably come out pretty unscathed, honestly. I feel pretty confident about 9 7-year-olds.
How many Hezbollahs
Ooh, that's much more difficult.
to quantify?
Yeah, I mean,
many
pound for
available.
pound, far more threatening than a 7-year-old. Just has a more mature understanding of the fight game.
For sure, he
And
does that.
Of course, low center of gravity is always something that shouldn't be underestimated. So I'm going to keep it conservative and say like 3 Hezbollahs, just because I don't want to embarrass myself and get my shit kicked in by 4 or 5 of them.
Guys, in the comments, how many 7-year-olds do you think you could take on before they actually took you down and got you down? So how many 7-year-olds do you think? I don't want to say like attack, because then it seems like YouTube would censor me for something, but I just want to say like take you down.
I don't think YouTube is against striking a child.
Why don't you just say plaything?
What is it?
You shouldn't be. You should say playing with a child.
No.
Sparring, right?
I can't say it now that you said it.
Wrestling with a child.
Yeah, so
Just
how many
sparring.
children could you wrestle before they got you down? That's basically it. But you can slap them around and throw them and shit.
So
Yeah, man, you got to
why
sweep
don't
the
we-
leg.
Why don't we call
They're-
it young?
They're an energetic breed, so you gotta. The more that you can get them off their feet and force them to exert their energy, recovering. That's really how you're going to survive, because there's not much you can do at arm's length. The way that they're able to sort of, once they've got you wrapped up, their strength is strong, right? They open up those cartons of milk. They've got serious grip strength. So once they kind of latch onto you, that's why I wanted shorts. If I'm wearing khakis, that gives them more opportunity to grab around the calves, and that's just a tripping hazard waiting to happen. Once you're down, they pile on. After fatigue is accounted for, it's difficult, man. You don't want to find yourself beneath
but
9
then
7-year-olds.
if you don't wear those khakis, the khakis are better, because if you have sweatpants, if you don't tie them properly, then you have a risk of getting yourself fucking arrested.
Yeah, then
Right.
you
Yeah,
gotta
because you have
serve
a bunch
time
of-
and lose a fight.
I would
That's
want
just-
like dynamic biking shorts or something. Like if I was
Right.
gonna or like UFC.
Bullish.
trousers.
I'm swinging.
No, but no. So literally, COTG. I mean, Crypto Gains says 15. He must be a big fella.
Okay. That's insanity.
Dude, to be
If you're
honest,
gonna just start
imagine if
throwing
your
out
Trezor was
numbers
on the
like
other
that,
side. What if your Trezor was on the other side? Your Trezor with all
Good
your
luck.
crypto was on the other side of 15 7-year-olds. Could Yes, I would absolutely annihilate all of them. It would
Sequoia
be,
is asking how tall I am. I'm 5'10".
Oh, he's 6'5". He's lying.
he's 6'5", and his kook is 12 inches.
But listen, if you're gonna start making claims of double-digit children, you need to come on stream and substantiate that. Anyone can be a keyboard warrior. It's easy. Oh, I could take out 11-7. I'd love to see you try. So if you're just gonna talk the talk,
Yeah.
that's one thing.
How many
Get on here and
15-year-olds?
substantiate it.
How many 15-year-olds
Jeez,
could you pick up?
15-year-olds, man.
That's hard, man. Because
Three.
I've seen a guy, man, try to pull up in his car, bro. He got knocked the fuck out after two guys
By a
getting in.
15-year-old?
Man,
I think the guy was like 25, 26. Guy
dangerous,
thought he was
man.
cool,
50.
tried
That's
to
a
get-
sophomore in
Bro,
high
we
school,
were-
right?
We were like 50, 60 fucking 15-year-olds just ran up to his car because he tried hitting us. Where he tried to get out of his car. but I got
That's
knocked
almost the most
fuck out.
dangerous age because in the States, once you turn 16, you can get a license. That means 15 and below. These guys are walking everywhere. So their cardio is they're gonna have a lot of strength below the waist. I mean, you're definitely walking into something there.
Where I'm from, the most dangerous people are 14 to 17 years old.
I guess sort of
You
the
don't know,
gang
man.
bang.
Because
By
I was once
long
that
shot.
motherfucker, and I actually broke people's face that were older than me at that age. People have done that, man. Look at the shit. Like
You
if
don't give a
know,
shit
you
at
know.
that age too, and you have a little
No,
bit of
if
a
you're
body.
strong,
on
you're
you.
strong. If you're
Yeah.
strong, you're
Ninja
strong.
says his 15-year-old is 6 foot. He's like
Yeah,
raising
man.
his own militia.
That's
He's not lying about that
exactly
too.
when
He's
I
not
became
lying
6
about
foot.
that too.
I
That's-
actually haven't grown since that age. I'll be honest with you. I was 6'2" at 15, where I was bench pressing 45s and 25s. Now I can't even do 35 plate. Forget about
I
it.
guess the question does become interesting though. Like
Forget about
how
it.
many 15-year-olds could you fist fight one at a time? Right. So like how many could you get through? Just like a
12 to
fight
15
a fight to
Oh.
submission one at a time.
12.
Oh, as many as possible.
I mean, just
You gotta
it would just
count
be
for
fatigue,
fatigue, though, right?
cardiovascular.
15
health,
years
that
old,
was the
probably
question.
as many.
Yeah,
as
you get
possible.
about a minute break between.
Oh
Oh,
wow!
man,
Oh,
okay, right now, maybe like
10.
4 or 5, I'd be dead.
That's pretty solid. That's
But
pretty
at
good cardio.
19, 20, at 19, 20, I would have taken the whole school.
There you go. See, I got to be honest. I feel like I've fallen off a little bit, so I'm feeling real good. You know, you go through number 1 and you just got old man strength, so that you feel confident. But after about
that's
2 or
good.
3, man, I start to breathe pretty heavy, man. You know, I don't.
Yeah,
I
Well,
don't
yesterday
fight
I
children as often as I ought to.
yesterday I did 15 minutes of intensive cardio, and it hasn't been.
Really?
It's not the same. It's not the same. Yeah, it's not.
Hey,
the
I
same.
came into the stream seeing Jim Rat doing that. They call it Sally or something. It looked like a super intense.
The push-up challenge. Yeah, I crushed.
Oh,
it.
you did the push-up challenge.
Dude,
Right in
that
the
looks
beginning, dude, I was
brutal.
screaming bloody murder the whole time.
That looks
Literally
hard, man.
Screaming as hard as I
Shall we go
could.
to Congo?
So
and
it's on
test
like
it?
a timer then, like because I heard Sam giving you like the
Yeah,
down
there's
up.
like a timer for like on YouTube for that
Oh,
specifically, but the song just says up and down. The only hard part is that you have to stay down for like the whole fucking time.
Forever,
Like,
yeah.
You're literally all down the whole time. You're up, down, and then you stay
Yeah.
down for like another. Fucking
Just stay there.
Dude, I
Yeah.
almost did the whole thing. If I could have practiced like once or twice.
How long is it supposed to go?
Like 3 minutes 13 or something.
Man, you were right on the pace.
I was like
then, dude.
251, yeah. But I
For
was
not
done.
specifically preparing yourself for fucking weird push-up plank holds, that's pretty good, man. That's really impressive.
No.
Yeah, I was freaking screaming, dude. I was doing it for the freaking gram, dude.
I'd have gotten like
Go
30,
bullish.
30
Bullish.
seconds
Go
in and thrown up.
go to Brooklyn, easy New York, and pull up a one-on-one shit with a bunch of 7-year-olds. Yeah, we're gonna pull up a bunch of fucking guns and shoot me at that age, man. Literally, man. That if it was literally a one-on-one like back in the day, like I don't think that would happen. I don't know, man. It would be.
Kids don't
You know,
fight with their hands.
I'm a
no more.
Rocky kind of guy, you know.
Kids don't fight with their hands no more.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't. No one fights with their hands no more. Or you go straight to jail. These
You
guys
know, you guys ever seen those like MMA things, 5 against 5? Like that's how it was back in my day.
I've seen a couple of those.
Like I say that like I'm so old.
That was like behind a
can't
restaurant
believe
or
it.
something with the two gangs like
Oh
get
my
together.
God,
and
it's
you
like
just-
literally half my age ago. Like what they're talking about, man. Like it was never. I feel really bad. Like when I hear people getting shot and shit, you know, I'm like nowadays. I'm not even talking about in the States. I'm talking about Montreal. Like people getting shot now, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Kids are getting shot. I'm like, where the fuck are they getting the guns?
Bro, you could never shoot me in Montreal because y'all so fucking cold all year round. I'm just staying home. Like you'll
yeah,
never catch me outside.
Oh, I'm look at me, man. I'm here
Walker,
all the
you got a
time.
basement or crawl space, anything?
Nah, man. Trust me, he wouldn't want to be on the streets, man. Slush. Usually things are not
That's what
fucking
I'm
clean.
saying, dude. I grew up for
Yeah,
a
he
while. I
would.
lived in northern Iowa / like southern Wisconsin, and dude, like just cold all the time. And then I hear stories about Canada, and you guys are like, "Oh yeah, we got 40 feet of snow last night. I shoveled my way to work." It's like, "Oh okay. Why do you live there again?" "Oh, free healthcare." All right, I'm not sure it's a fair trade, but
Yep. 6 hours of heavy snow and it melted in 4.
fuck
You
that.
explain to me how crazy that is. How you're not
No
supposed to
thanks.
get sick.
Yeah, dude, your body's got to just be going through it. You got to have some kind of crazy ancestry to be able to weather that.
I actually don't, man. I get pale. I look at me. I look like I'm white. Like you can see
Yeah,
the light
dude, that's
shining off
because
me.
aren't you like Italian or Portuguese or something? Like you're
I'm
coming
Italian,
from.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
dude. So you're
wait
not meant for
until I'm
that.
streaming. When I'm streaming. I'm literally the same color on this side as I am on this side. That's how much I haven't been out. I haven't been out since October.
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't.
Well,
There's
half
no
y'all can't go
sun.
anywhere, man.
What am I gonna go outside on the snow like this and tan? Like, what the fuck you want me to do? And I'm definitely not going on tanning beds. Like, fuck that. I'm not gonna kill my body just to look good. But give me a couple of weeks in Portugal. I'm gonna be streaming. You'll be like, who the fuck's this guy? That's the way it works. But you also feel different too, like as a European, and I know other Europeans in the chat will feel this way. Like the sun is like we need it. It's like you need it.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
every
You look pale
European
as hell,
feels.
man. You look
I know.
like you've been in a closet or something. It's
Look,
like
it's
when
like well, it's
vitamin D,
Crypto Games Club
also this
definitely.
light, like look, I get closer to the light. It's
right?
like it's a very powerful light too. You know, I need to get every single detail on the video when I do things.
Oh yeah.
Crypto Gains Club just sent me a DM of a picture of him, and I can confirm that he could definitely tear through 12 kids.
Really? 7-year-olds, I assume, not 15-year-olds.
No.
All right.
But he would still have a good go at it with the 15-year-old, I'm sure.
Okay.
But
What do you?
again,
Okay, so like,
there's like 15-year-olds are
say-
like from 90 pounds to like 200.
15-year-old now, I don't know, man. Actually, I take that back, man. I'm taking it back because I remember what I could do at 15.
there's some 15-year-olds dunking from the free throw line.
Yeah, man. It's like Tyson. It's like Tyson, bro. Tyson.
I don't know what they're eating.
Fuck
Dog.
out. It's true. I take that back. 7-year-olds, I'll break them all. But
Back in my day, when you ate a
but
bowl of peanut
15-year-old,
butter
I
with
actually
Captain
take it
Crunch,
back.
you were not dunking from the free throw line. We didn't
No,
have
but I
15-year-old Zion Williams.
I was plating 45-25. I was running track. I was running 12 rounds of a track under 9 minutes. Bro, I remember my ex-girlfriend was getting it good for hours, bro. It's insane. Bro, I was built. I was built, nutrition, everything. I was a hockey player, you know. It was like, and then it's slowly when you stop, training, you become the way I am now, right? Which is a bunch of cutness but no muscle. So I'm that kid you guys didn't want to be around when I was 15.
Will says, I'm that kid you guys didn't want to be around. That was 15. See, that's what I'm saying.
That's a
Is
shame. That's a shame, bro.
You catch a Wales, right? You catch someone like him, ripped, playing baseball at 15. You better step correct, man. Some of these kids got the body for it.
I'll tell you what.
But you know what? That experience builds you, man. And if you thrive forward, Wales, I know you could conquer with this, but you could concur with this that if you thrive forward and you put one foot front and you just think about what's right, do what you got to do you. At the end of the day, you're gonna be good, man. And you play baseball. That's awesome, bro. I played baseball too, man. That's dope. But I was really young. I was young though. I stopped because of hockey, but. Yeah, man, that's dope, man. I played baseball too. I played
baseball. Lacrosse and soccer my whole life.
You played lacrosse too? Yo, I played lacrosse too, man. I used to play against the natives. The natives were really good, man. The natives were really good in Montreal.
Yeah, like sports was a really big part of my life growing up, for certain. I was a sports dude. That's pretty much all I did for the most part.
People don't understand how much our forearms have been affected because of lacrosse. They're just like, yeah, lacrosse is nice, get to hit, whatever. I'm like, no. Listen, you're getting whacked, but with a metal stick on your arm.
Yeah, I just remember getting whacked in the dick all the time, dude. Like the arm ones don't hurt so bad, but when you're cutting through I cut through the middle all the time. That was my position.
Oh, my arms would kill, man. At the end of the game, I'd be getting slashes and shit.
Dick all the time, dude. Because they would miss my stick and they would go right down to the penis, and I was just like, dude. And then you never
You didn't wear a Kaki Saint Jacques, as we call it.
No. That messes up your mobility.
Yeah, man. I'm not about to protect myself at the expense of being slick.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
State championships are won with no couplet. No couplet.
You've never
Yeah,
gotten
man.
a hockey puck straight in the
No,
butt. That's
not
like a
hockey's
guarantee.
different, dude. You can't. In hockey, you have to wear a puck. I mean, you have to wear a cup. There's no.
I always wear a cup. I would wear a cup in soccer, fuck, if I could.
I used to wear a cup to class just for the looks, but I had a buddy that played lacrosse, and he had to just have welts up and down his arms and legs and stuff, and he'd be like, "Oh, you should come out with us next year." I was like, "Do you see how fucking dumb you look right now? Just like
Somebody
broken every day."
Clip it.
It's just
That was a good
insane.
one.
I was like, "I'll pass."
That was a
man.
good
I'll
one.
watch.
Famous. I have an amazing video I'm going to post of you that I already cropped out. It was when you were on a tangent way earlier. You won't even remember what it was about, but it was good.
It was about the ETH.
It was about the liquidity and it was just good. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm going to title.
What about the fact that people just don't use ETH?
Yeah.
Like people actually don't use ETH. Like
And what would the price have to be for them to use ETH of the transactions?
What do you mean? Why would they use it?
$2.
When you could, when you
No, I'm
when the
saying
last-
how cheap would a transaction that would attract the actual viewers? I mean,
$2.
$2 or $3.
Yeah.
Right now, 5, 10. Yeah, $10. It was 300. 30 times less.
I gotta
not
tell
bad.
you, man. This fake pump is about to come to an end. I hope everybody profited from 13.5 cents to 14 cents.
Hey guys, if you're in here and you have not hit the subscribe button or the like button, I would really appreciate if you did that. That would be awesome because I need you to do this for me.
Viagra. If you forget your cup, there's always Viagra Light. Good for swimming too.
And if you have never commented in the chat without doxing yourself, if it's your full name, please do not comment in the chat.
Have you guys heard the stories that Chad Ochocinco used to take Viagra before football games in the NFL?
I used to take Viagra before I worked out.
He had this quote where he goes, "How these defensive backs gonna be able to keep up with me when I'm running on 3 legs?"
Every day's a workout with a 20-pound python in your jeans. That's what they say.
It
gives you more swing, it's like a pendulum swing, when you swing your arms, it's like, well, you get 3 arms just swinging, you get more mobility.
Oh my god.
I always wonder how some of those guys move so quick with that big Johnson in the middle. Like the LeBron Jameses of the world, those guys are flying 24/7 and they
Mobley guy says channel rugged for violence and Viagra towards minors.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Listen, if you ever go streaking, you'll understand the value of having drawers on. I can promise you that. If you go streaking and you run as fast as you can, every guy in this chat, I guarantee you will appreciate your drawers or your pants. I promise you.
Yeah, your wee gets 1 inch long.
Bro, it goes all over the fucking place. You're just like it goes all over the place, bro. It hurts, man. Trust me, you'd appreciate the drawers, man.
I forgot that Viagra, Viagra is actually used for a lot of different reasons. If anyone wants a little education.
Yeah, man, I'm always down to learn about peen pills.
I got Viagra.
Viagra is actually used as a cardiovascular tool.
Really?
Yeah.
Improve your health heart or your heart health?
No, yeah, the blood actually, the
blood flow. So what it does is it dilates your blood vessels, right? Mm-hmm. So all it does is dilate all your blood vessels. So guys that work out, it doesn't make you horny, guys. I want you to hear me here. Viagra has nothing in it that makes you physically horny. It just makes your dick.
You're gonna have to explain that to the sock in the corner of my room, but okay.
Well, it just makes your dick diamond hard.
Does it have googly eyes?
So Viagra is just a tool for cardiovascular health that people use for. Well, it's not for cardiovascular health, but it definitely is used that way. But generally, Cialis and/or Viagra is used for old dudes that can't get their.
So are you telling me that you're just ripping bumps of crushed up Viagra before you go in for the squats?
From testnet to Viagra.
Just half.
Good job, Finbear.
I was in my bodybuilding phase. I'm not in my bodybuilding phase.
But it's good for the pump. It's good for the blood pump.
Oh, dude, you've never seen a better pump.
Nice.
You've never seen a better pump. If you go to the gym and take half of Cialis, you're a different human. The
Oh, I
pump. You're
love
like, where are these veins coming from? You're like, it's crazy.
I'll have to do it. I've been looking for an
Please,
excuse
please,
to
please,
re-up
please,
my
do
house.
not do it. And if you do it, don't say you did it.
I'm
and
going.
then
Listen, this
doctor.
is why I'm doing it. I'm going from just being a real lethargic piece of shit that likes to read things on the internet, and I'm just going to go 120 miles an hour, full cardio pump, pop in 2 or 3 Viagra, and then I'm just going to run on a treadmill for like 40 minutes.
Don't do that. Just keep it to the light. Just keep some weights, get a little pump going, take some shots. You want
I
some
can do
shots in the mirror for the pump.
For the ball.
If you're, like as someone who used to take pictures of themselves a lot, like you only pick one day of the week to take pictures, and because most of the days you're bodybuilding, you don't really look your best.
Oh,
You only
really?
look your best if you kind of like prepare before, because you have to eat a lot of carbs and get all that your cell.
I can
you
do
have to
that.
get the cells, the density, the calories back in your cells.
See, that's my. I'm building mass. I'm accruing mass right now. I've been in a bulking phase for several seasons, but when Michelangelo were to go and carve from the slab of marble, he didn't choose a dainty, frail stone, right? He would choose the biggest and boldest to chisel his masterpieces. So, like the great Da Vinci of Renaissance era, I'm really I'm accruing that mass to become the ultimate sculpture.
Yeah, there's actually some merit to that. I mean, to a certain
Oh,
point.
you don't have to tell me, man. It's a commitment. Not everybody can commit to this sort of calorie intake.
That's true. I can't.
Easy to take the calories in, difficult to retain them in such a way that you have the mass to work with.
Hex Orca, Hex to Learn. I see that you have a Richard Hart thing there. Would you like to shill anything? Anything you guys want to say before we wrap up here?
Yeah, man. If you guys want, you can be Richard Hart also, man. You can just go on Snapchat and just click in the search of the Explorer and put Richard Hart. There's 3 Snapchat filters. We got this motherfucker. We got this bad boy. Well, but now because of the green screen, you don't see it properly, but it's supposed to be green. And then you got this bad boy. I guess airdrop in history.
I like
guys.
the last one the best.
When you look like this,
Hey,
you look like you fuck, man. So
you know what's kind of crazy? What I'm waiting for that no one's really talking about in the crypto world. So like Richard doesn't have kids that we know of, and he's over 40 years old now. I think he's approaching
I would
50.
assume he doesn't have kids at this moment.
He doesn't have kids that he's going to claim on tax forms, but he or that he was around to name, but he's approaching 50 pretty quick, and there's been rumblings lately about like buying islands and Hexaco and things like that. I'm really hoping that he goes through like a billionaire midlife crisis and just decides like, why not start a country? Why not try to Pablo Escobar it and sort of create your own nation state from your own economic source? Mortgage for Hex. Look at these thumbnails, man.
Dude, this is Sam. Like Sam's just an action taker. He already posted this video. Fucking.
That's so cool, man.
And that's a brand new recorded video. That's not a clip. He went and recorded a brand new video.
Really?
Yes, 100%. I don't even have to look at it.
Dude, what a hustle.
He just doesn't, dude. It has nothing to do with money. He's just great. Like he just loves knowledge and learning and spreading.
Yeah, man, he's got an awesome energy. I love tuning into Hex in the morning. You guys get my day started off right.
He gets my day started off right. And I've been taking walks and shit lately and trying to chill with the weed a little bit, and trying to get.
Yeah, man. I'm doing the opposite of that. I just picked up more last night, but now that I know better, I would have gone half and half with Viagra.
Well, Cialis, you can get free Cialis.
Okay. What about like the pills that they sell at gas stations?
Nope, don't recommend. I've never taken such a thing.
It's too bad. I kind of like the sketchiness of it all. I sort of like it. Or like NoDoz, isn't that the brand that truckers used to use to stay up? Is like methamphetamine.
All right. Well, all right, guys. Everyone.
Ninja says that.
Drugs 101.
Ninja Chopstick says that Richard's younger than him. Bro, he's like 46. What are you talking about?
40.
42?
I thought he was 40.
Whatever, bro. He's 46. He's full of
46
shit.
and 40, man. Whoa.
Bro, he's got gray hair in the goatee. He's been
said
trying
I'm
to
40
die.
and he said I'm 40 on the debate he had with Schiff.
He said 40 flat. He's just 40.
He said, I'm 40 years old, man. No, because when he brought up the 40-year price chart for gold, and he said, dude, how far do you want me to go back? I'm 40 years old.
Bob the guy says Richard Hart is 42.
Bob the guy has all the alpha.
He's 46. He's 46 when you account for the additional weight on the breasts.
All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Hey, real quick, guys, I'm going to show some shit. Why not? I never do.
He's 42.
All I want to
He's
do
42.
is all I want you to do is hit the like and hit the subscribe if you're listening to me. If you can do that, I would appreciate it. If you want to buy any of these fancy shields behind me, go ahead. But if you're a broke pleb, do not buy them. Seriously, do not buy them if you're not.
Oh, yeah. They've got his birthday on Google, man. October 9th, 1979. It's hilarious. If you search how old is Richard Hart in Google, it says people also search for number 1 is Craig Stephen Wright, and number 2 is Peter Schiff. And then number 3 is Kanye. That's hilarious, man.
All right,
yeah,
guys. I gotta go because
you piecing it? That's fine, man. Because I got people coming over here in a couple minutes.
So bad. Guys, everyone, what a wonderful time. The push-up challenge was amazing. Everyone have a great day. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Go to the Twitter space right after this. You degen zombies. I will see you later.
I love you guys.